50-yard touchdown catch. Right sideline and down he goes to the end zone.
WING 1410 Dayton's ESPN Radio.
All right, everybody, welcome in. Happy Friday. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash live here on Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM. Mr. Kev Nash, happy Friday.
What up, dog?
Kinner's top 10 listener list coming out today. I've been working really hard. You've been talking. Goodness. I've been ignoring you. I haven't been responding. There was a reason. I was working very hard.
Oh, well, if I'm distracted during the show, just know I'm watching the Guardians and Yankees play. It's tied at 2, top of the 6.
You've had all day to watch them. And instead, you've been working.
That's what happens when you're at work.
That's what happens when you're having fun.
That's what happens when nobody comes to the building.
But you are here. That's all that matters.
We are here.
I'm excited for today's show. We got a lot to get into. We'll get into our NFL college football. We're going to pick 2 upsets in college football, 2 upsets in the NFL. David Jablonski covers the Dayton Flyers for Dayton Daily News. He'll join us coming up here top of the hour, 4 o'clock, an hour from now. So excited to chat with him. So that's coming up around the corner. But I wanted to open up today's show with, of course, our favorite game that we always play each and every Friday. And it's a game that we like to call, what we like to call it, Kev?
Cap or no cap.
And we never have a cap on for this show. I don't think it has anything to do with that.
I'm getting close. I need a haircut. So.
I'm getting hipper and cooler as I get older. I think I've mastered this game. Maybe.
Speaking of being hip and cooler, I know we got to get to cap or no cap. Will you start doing like the beard oils?
Is that a thing?
Yeah, they got beard oils to help your beard grow, even though I tried it and it didn't help me out. As you can see, I'm real patchy on my side. But you know what I'm saying? We see the beard. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get you some beard oil for Christmas, man.
There you go. We're getting each other stuff for Christmas. Now I need a raise.
3%.
Ron Howard. Were you in the Wizard of Oz? See, Ron, this is why.
Wow.
I'm just going to give you a little preview of the top 10. You're not in it.
2 minutes into the show.
Ron is not in the top 10, and that is no cap.
No
think
cap.
about it. A little delayed. All right, Kev, cap or no cap, here we go. We're off and rolling. By the way, we are live on Facebook. Head to Facebook, search The Justin Kinner Show, jump in on the conversation there, or you can give us a call at 518-1410. We'll open up the phone lines after we're done with cap or no cap to get your thoughts on some of these. But when you head to Facebook, you leave your cap or no cap answer in the comment section. We pull it in. Now, Kev, for our listeners who are not cool like me and don't understand cap or no cap, please explain.
Cap means lie. No cap means truth.
That's simple. Why don't we just play lie and truth? Because cap and no cap is so much cooler. All right, here we go, Kev. Cap or no cap? There is a quarterback controversy in Dallas. Cap or no cap?
Cap. You don't pay a guy that much money and not start him. Look, the Dallas Cowboys aren't playing like lights out football on the offensive side of the ball. They're dialing things back because they know that Cooper Rush is not the same quarterback as Dak Prescott. Yes, they as a team are winning games. They're relying on the run game. They're relying on their outstanding defense to win games. But to use one of your lines, it ain't like he out there throwing for 300 plus yards a game. He's managing the game, which is good. Scratch that. It's not good. It's great because guess what's going to happen for Cooper Rush? Cooper Rush is, 1, going to get paid from the Dallas Cowboys because he's a good backup, or 2, get traded to another team because they fall for it and think he's a great quarterback and get paid. So Cooper Rush is winning better than anybody in the NFL right now. He's not going to have to wait for his money. He's not going to have to be in a contract dispute. He will get paid this offseason. So shouts out to Cooper Rush.
So if you're just joining us, cap or no cap, truth or not truth, or lie or truth. Damn it. Cap is a lie. Cap is a lie. All right, that's all I need to know. As long as I know cap is a lie, that's all that matters. So there is a quarterback controversy in Dallas, cap or no cap. That's cap. Look, there's not a quarterback controversy. The only controversy that there is when do you bring Dak back? I don't believe at any point anyone – first of all, I think we need to really pay attention to like a trap game earlier in the week. The quarterback controversy is who should be your starting quarterback. Like, you know, both guys are healthy and you're building a team around somebody. quarterback controversy is, man, I don't know if we should move forward building around Dak or building around. This guy's talent doesn't even come close to Dak's, and I'm not even the biggest Dak Prescott guy. I wasn't even on board with the Dallas Cowboys giving him the max money that they did because I didn't believe he was a max level quarterback. But the market, he took advantage of the market. I have no problem with that. But no, there's no quarterback controversy. Here's the thing that I think Dallas is doing right now to kind of help the transition, because you do got to control the perception of the situation. They're undefeated,
right,
with Cooper Rush, but they haven't played anyone of significance throughout this run. All right, the best team they played is the Bengals. That was a game that at the time I was surprised that they beat, but the Bengals haven't looked sharp all season, so it kind of doesn't surprise me with the way Dallas is playing defense that they beat them. They've won all their games because of defense. Cooper Rush hasn't outslung it with anybody else. It's not like they're winning because of their offense, Kev.
Right.
I think the offense has looked a little bit better than that one game we saw with Dak at the beginning.
Definitely.
That's because they focused on the run game since then, and I think that matters as well. Plus, preseason, game one, everyone looks sloppy in week one. So I think what they're doing here is I think Dak could play against the Eagles, but the Eagles, they're a really, really good team. They're undefeated, possibly the top team in that division. I think they are the best team in that division. So if all of a sudden Dak Prescott comes back and Dallas loses to Philadelphia,
exactly,
then what everyone's going to say is, instead of using football logic, they're going to say, well, Philadelphia won because it's a good football team. They're going to say Philadelphia won because, they didn't continue rolling out Cooper Rush. So I think we could see Dak Prescott next week win or lose against Philadelphia. But I do believe that somehow, some way, I'm not saying the Cowboys are hoping they lose against Philadelphia, but I think they're counting on capitalizing on a loss to Philadelphia by saying, Cooper Rush, thank you. You did your job. Now we can return to Dak Prescott next week. But I think if you bring Dak back and they lose to the Philadelphia Eagles, now all of a sudden everyone is going to blame Dak,
right,
instead of just realizing that, hey, they've been beating up on some bad football teams the last couple of weeks. Cooper Rush didn't turn it over. That's a good thing. But I'll take Dak's arm over Cooper Rush's any day, but Cooper Rush did his job. So, Cap, there is no quarterback controversy in Dallas.
And further to your point, they beat the Cincinnati Bengals, losing record, Giants, winning record, Commanders, losing record, Rams, losing record. So that's just to give context to the teams that they have played. But to be fair, upcoming Sunday night, they play Philly, who's undefeated, and then they got the Lions and then the Bears. So you're probably at worst in these next three games going to be 2-1. So my question is, when do you bring Dak back? Like, if you keep winning, is that going to start that controversy? Because that's what everybody's talking about. It's like, well, if they're winning, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And everybody goes to well, shoot, Tom Brady and Drew Brees, like that's the only time it's ever happened that I can remember where somebody in the NFL, the quarterback is coming there and the backup is played so well that they just roll with the backup instead of the starter, instead of the incumbent starter, instead of the incumbent starter who signed a big contract. These are very parallel, but I just don't see it. I just see that Dak eventually is going to come back and be the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. And best believe, when he does come back, the pressure's going to be on him. Like,
as it should be. I mean, the thing is like, and Cooper Rush did his job. There's two reasons why there's a perception of a quarterback controversy. Cooper Rush, yes, he hasn't lost, but he also hasn't turned the ball over,
right?
Which I think is one reason why they haven't lost, because the defense and the run game, they've been able to go out there. But if Cooper Rush is turning the ball over a lot, and he's had one loss throughout the stretch, this isn't a quarterback controversy, but they're not winning because of Cooper Rush. He's not losing them games, but he's also not winning them games. So, look, I'm a Cowboys fan, but even I'm not buying into this. I am not the biggest Dak Prescott fan, but there's not even one tiny part of me that is hoping that they stick with Cooper Rush moving forward. But the weird thing, that surgery that Dak had, I can't believe he's back now already. I think that the only one that is fearing Cooper Rush is Dak Prescott. It's the only reason he rushed back as quick as he did. So
Take your time. Yeah.
All right, if you're just joining us, cap or no cap, Damon Hahn says cap. Doesn't matter who is back there. That defense is the truth. I don't believe that to be the case in any situation. I think that again, I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. I'm almost saying that, hey, they're not winning because of him, but he's done a fantastic job.
Yeah, he's playing his role.
What he has done is put them in position to win these football games by not getting in the way and allowing the strengths to take over. But they take more chances with Dak Prescott. Cooper Rush is not a bum,
right?
But I also don't think that he's a guy that's actually, from a skill set perspective, actually challenging Dak Prescott for the job by any means. So we'll see. Ron Howard, think Dallas has a bye. That would give him more time. When is their bye week? This is the first week of bye weeks, bye teams, by the way. The Lions have one. Some teams have some.
Their bye week isn't until it's looking like it's not until December.
Yeah, I don't know what
Ron, they got a late bye week, I believe.
I think Ron's trying to participate nicely so he can get in the top 10. Ron, my top 10 is final. There's nothing you could do. So we'll get back to that. Again, more comments in the comment section, cap or no cap. All right, next up, Cap, we're going to move over to the college football side of things. Georgia, Ohio State, Alabama, and Clemson were all ranked in that order in this week's AP poll. When we come back to work on Monday and that week's AP poll comes out, the AP poll that comes out this Monday will remain the same. Cap or no cap?
Cap.
That's a lie, folks.
Big cap. I've been calling it since July. Tennessee will beat Alabama this weekend.
Tennessee. So just that.
It's just that simple.
There.
It's just that simple. Tennessee is going to win this football game. Minus the fact that Bryce Young is still dealing with that shoulder. He's going to have to get that injection. Who knows what that injection is going to take? Who knows if he even plays at all? And the quarterback from Alabama that played last week versus A&M, yeah, he's a talented young guy, but he still had 2 turnovers. And they turned the ball over 4 times total. So I'm rolling with Tennessee because they're getting their star wide receiver back, Tillman. And that offense with Hendon Hooker has been cooking. So I'm still rolling with Tennessee.
We've talked about this match. We've talked about Alabama, Tennessee pretty much all week. And I can't wait to finally get to that game. There is a weird wrinkle. There's many analysts out there that I've been listening to all day that believe that at the last moment they're going to pull the trigger and not play Bryce Young on Saturday. How demoralizing would that be if Tennessee loses to Alabama without Bryce Young? But there's talk out there that Alabama they're strategically possibly considering not playing Bryce Young, who's not 100%.
Right.
He's healthy enough to play Saturday, but I think in the minds of Alabama, they're going to say, well, from the perspective of the College Football Playoff Committee, we still have a chance to win even without Bryce Young. So let's roll out there without Bryce Young. And then if we lose, it's because our quarterback was injured. We talked about the committee, Jason Fitz, earlier in the week. They put a lot of stock into injuries. If you did you lose a game because you had a star player out? Well, that would have a heavy load on if they end up losing to Tennessee. So, again, chess, not checkers. I'm curious to see what they go doing with that. But I also say, Cap, I don't think it's going to remain the same, mainly because if that team up north beats Penn State, I do believe that they just jump to Clemson. I think Clemson moves back and they move into number 4. It's not a huge deal, but I don't think that those same 4 teams will remain the same top 4 in the AP poll coming out on Monday. I think again, the winner of that Penn State-Michigan game will most likely be number 4, and then obviously Alabama will move in that case if they lose to Tennessee.
And to your point about, this is chess, not checkers, this is SEC West opponent Bama playing the SEC East opponent in Tennessee. The more important games to Alabama are the SEC West games, so you can make it to Atlanta to play in the SEC championship game. All these games are important, but you can't make it to Atlanta without winning your side. So winning those games are far more important than winning one of the games across from them in the East. So, I mean, they might pull it to just give them some more time to rest.
So David Shaw says Cap. Oh, he says Cap Kev. Yeah, that sounds dangerous, right? Hold up, real quick. I forgot what I don't the lingo. I just throw it out there all willy nilly. I say some dangerous things here. I think he's clarifying he's not talking to me today. He's just talking to you.
Hey, what's going on?
That's going to have some bearings on the top 10 when it comes out later. Justin Terry asked a good question too. Where is that game? The Tennessee game. Is it at Tennessee?
In Tennessee. Yep.
Tennessee. Yeah, Alabama losing that one. That atmosphere is going to be insane.
Right.
Everyone wants like Alabama, but like when fan bases actually like see
we want Alabama.
Yeah. Tennessee is one of the few teams in the country right now that can say that and actually feel confident that they have a chance in that. So the
stars are lining up, and that's what you kind of look for in the offseason. Like, how can Team A lose to Team B? You come off a good season last year, you being Tennessee, you be undefeated. So all the players are still bought in. They're feeling confident. You have that game at home. They had a game versus A&M, who was talking reckless in the offseason, they being Jimbo Fisher. They lost to that team, so they're going to be up for that game, emotionally super invested in that game. Now, on the heels of that, I thought that Bama was going to blow A&M out, but they had obviously a tight game, came down to the very last second play. So now you're vulnerable. You're coming into this game. Then you throw in a caveat that their Heisman winning quarterback is dealing with a shoulder issue. So he may or may not play. I think the stars are lining up for Tennessee to get this dub.
Ron, Steelers and Bucs game going to be another route. Thanks, Ron. Yep, thank you. I have no clue what that has to do with anything we're talking about. Thanks, Ron. Ron, you're not in the top 10 for a lot of reasons. That's one of them right there. I mean, you squirrel. Like he never is talking about anything we're talking about. Ron, I love you, dude, but geez, all right, Brian Schwederman. This is the coolest I've ever seen Brian be right here, by the way. Brian loses. He says Bama loses, they drop. If they win, they jump Ohio State due to our bye week. And he says, Cap. Brian, that's the coolest. It's the coolest you've ever been. Brian's using Cap. I never thought I'd see that, but yeah, he says Cap as well. So there you go. But nonetheless. All right. Damon Hahn says the College Football Playoff Committee takes injuries into consideration. Yes, that's one reason why I think the chestnut checkers with Alabama right now. If Bryce Young is not 100%, it's kind of like playing with house money a little bit. You have one to lose, and Alabama does. We know this. They're allowed to lose a game. So is Ohio State, by the way. Everyone's allowed to lose one, just can't get blown out.
Right.
So if they feel they can win a game and not, or if they feel like they can be in a game and not get blown out without Bryce Young, they may take that chance. We'll see what ends up happening. Mark Smith says, Cap, Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top, Tennessee. Okay, there you go.
Sing along.
I'm not, that voice. American Idol, here I come. All right, on to the next one, Kev. Cap or no cap? The 2-3 Browns and the 2-3 Bengals are both playing in must-win games this Sunday. Cap or no cap? Both teams 2-3. Both teams obviously have a lot of deficiencies right now, 5 games into the season, but we're getting to that point now where another loss, now you're 2-4, and you're multiple games under 500, and now you're starting to create a separation in the AFC North standings. It's a very crucial week for two teams coming off of tough losses this past weekend. 2 losses that should have been wins. The Bengals should have won. The Browns should have won, or at least could have won. Both teams could have won. They could both be 3-2 right now. Cap or no cap, Kev? The 2-3 Browns and the 2-3 Bengals are both playing in must-win games this Sunday.
No cap. Big no cap. They got to win. Both teams have to win this game. Obviously, last year, you think about what the New England Patriots did to the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns blew out the Cincinnati Bengals. A pick 6 by Denzel Ward last year. And then the following week, you're feeling good about yourself. They get destroyed by the Patriots. So now you got that revenge factor coming into this game, and you got to get back to 3-3. Got to get back to 3-3. And then look at the Cincinnati Bengals. You get the lead over the Ravens. The Ravens really haven't been able to move the ball the entire second half. They move the ball. Really don't have to move it that far with Justin Tucker, to be perfectly honest. But they ultimately lose that game, and now you're 2 division games back of everybody. You're last in the division, even though you got 2 wins because you lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers. So you're looking at yourself like, look, we got all this talent around us. We should be better than what we are, but our record says we aren't. Both teams need to win this week to even have a chance to get back into the AFC North.
I'm going to say Cap. I don't think it's not a must-win for both teams. I think it's a must-win for Cleveland. Now, we've talked about how devastating the 2 of the 3 losses for Cincinnati has been because 2 of the 3 losses for Cincinnati has come within the division. But the Cleveland Browns, Kev, the Patriots, that's a winnable game. My thing is they had a basically 0 margin for error when the season started, talking about the Cleveland Browns. I thought, they should have beat the Jets. They almost lost to Carolina, by the way. They should have beat the Jets. Obviously, they should have beat, the Chargers this past week. And they should have beat, obviously, Atlanta. I think they were better than the Chargers this past Sunday. Boneheaded mistake. They missed that kick down the stretch. And, of course, the one mistake that he made down the stretch, the quarterback, cost him. But the reason I say them, the Pats is a winnable game. You've already messed up. You've already lost the games that you should win. So, to me, it's one of those things that the Pats, now all of a sudden, that was a toss-up game, I thought, when I was looking at the schedule coming in, because I thought they would have taken care of the Jets. They would have taken care of the Falcons. Coin toss against the Chargers, and then I thought the Pats was a coin toss. They have to beat the Patriots now, because after the Patriots, you have the Ravens and the Bengals. So you can't lose. You can't lose to the Chargers. You lost to the Falcons and the Chargers now in back-to-back weeks. You can't lose to the Patriots and then head into the Ravens and the Bengals. That's why I think that they have to win. The Bengals, they have the Saints and the Falcons. These are 2 winnable games. They should win these next 2 games. Yes, they need to win those, but at the same time, I think that their schedule is a little softer moving forward. They have the Saints, the Falcons, the Browns will be a tough game, but then they got the Panthers and Steelers and Titans again. The schedule loosens up for the Bengals, so they can make up ground if they end up losing this game on Sunday. The Browns, now they lose this Sunday. That means they're taking a 3-game losing streak into the Ravens and Bengals. Their season's done at that point. So to me, I say cap because I don't think it's a must win for both teams. It's we would like to win this week, but I think the Browns, it's more crucial that they win this Sunday. It's more important to them than the Bengals. The Bengals could dig out of it with that schedule coming up. The Browns, not so much.
That Monday night game versus the Bengals is on Halloween, right?
Yep, scary things have happened.
We going? You trying to roll? No. What's up? Let's go.
I've already experienced my Browns heartbreak in person for the year. We are good. All right, Kev, on to the next one here, the last and final one here. Again, if you're just tuning in, by the way, it's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash. Cap or no cap? Real quick, let me get reaction to this. Jesse says, division is too close. Records will stay close all year. Pittsburgh maybe in a must-win, not Cincy or Cleveland. I understand Cincinnati just because I understand why people are saying them because of the 2 division losses. That's for sure.
Pittsburgh is a non-factor.
They're non-factor. What they're playing for is the number 1 draft.
We're playing for pride.
Dalton Cooper says the only reason they had a chance is because Brandon Staley went for it on 4th down on his own side of the field. That's fantastic, correct, Dalton. And the only reason that you guys actually were in games and didn't get blown out is because you played backup quarterbacks. So we could do this game all evening. But, yeah.
That's the crazy thing about
is
the
Andy
Cleveland
Dalton
Browns.
Starting this weekend too, by the way?
Yeah, Jameis is still questionable. So,
oh, man, the Bengals, another backup quarterback. It's adorable.
The crazy thing about the Browns is I'm a person that believes that I don't play this whole, we should have won, but the Browns should have won 2 games. They should have won the game against the Jets, and they should have won the game against the Chargers. For whatever reason anybody wants to put out there, with Jacoby throwing a pass instead of just running it in for a touchdown to take the lead, or with Staley going for it like a bonehead, giving them another opportunity, obviously being up 13 points with under 2 minutes to play versus Jets. Those are 2 games that you should have won. If I'm a Cleveland Browns fan, I'm just questioning everything at this point. No lead is safe. Nothing's safe with the Cleveland Browns. It's going to go down to the wire. And just from a football fan perspective, I love it because you never know what's going to happen.
All right, Johnny Ortez. What up, Johnny? He goes, bro, the beard is nice. I think he's talking about me, but, yours isn't bad.
A little goatee.
Have you ever gone full beard?
I can't.
You can't?
I can't.
I didn't think I could either.
There.
I didn't think I could either. All of a sudden I realized, I'm like, hey, there's actually some, I got something to work with here. Anything that I can grow to cover the majority of this is always a good thing. That's always been my policy. Some guy on Facebook says, no cap, if Baltimore wins the division in a crowded AFC, it would be tough for Cincinnati or Cleveland to get a wild card spot with another L this week, for sure. So there you go. Chad Kinser says Cincy and Cleveland should both be 5-0. Absolutely. So, look, Cleveland, the Atlanta game's annoying, but they lost that injuries. I think they win that game that's who they had on the field. And you gave up 170 yards in the second half. It hurts. I'm tired of living in the past with them. But yeah, they're 2-3. That's all that matters. I had a Bengals fan today in typical obnoxious form. They brought up the fact that, both teams are 2-3, but the Bengals are still better because the quarterbacks that they lost to are better than the quarterbacks that the Browns lost to. And I said, what in the blue hell are you talking about? I was like, whatever. The backup champions of the world. Last but not least, Kev, as we close this out here this afternoon, right now the Guardians and the Yankees, bottom of the 6th, tied at 2 runs apiece.
Yeah.
When we come back on Monday, the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, this coming up Monday, let me reword this. The Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash. When we host that show on Monday, we're going to be previewing Game 5 between the Yankees and Guardians. Cap or no cap, baby?
No cap. No cap. We going to win the 2 in Cleveland because it's looking like the Yankees are about to win this game.
Oh, why do you got to be all negative?
I'm just saying.
It's the bottom of the 6th.
They
play 9 innings.
They got a runner on first and second and no outs.
It's all right. They don't have it. You're so negative. It's the 6th damn inning.
Come on, Bieber, let's go. Oh, they're pulling them anyway. Never mind.
There you go. So you said no cap.
No cap. We are playing Game 5, baby. We are playing 5 games. We're going to win it 2 at home.
So yesterday's game got rained out, of course. Today's the makeup game. 2 in Cleveland, or it's 2 in New York, 2 in Cleveland, 1 in New York on Monday night, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. I like they have to win this one, though. You're tied 6 innings into this. Find a way to get out of this jam. They win this one, Kev, I will say no cap. I'll say we'll be pretty. But they lose this game, I don't see them winning back-to-back games, although the atmosphere in Cleveland's going to be rocking.
Crazy.
But, all them new fans they have now rocking those.
They're always been fans. They just lazy.
By the way,
they just don't believe.
There's a friendly tip to everyone out there. Make sure you cut off the tags of your jerseys when you just so you're not embarrassed walking around with tags hanging off your clothes at the game on Monday night or at the ballpark this weekend if you're going to support the grind. Gardos, is that what we're doing?
Gardos.
I was going to just instead of tribe. The tribe was such a cool thing.
It is.
But, yeah, the Guardian, the Gribe. That's what I'm going with.
Gardos, man.
Gardos. All right, whatever. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio. David Shaw, he says Yankees winning in 3. He says cap. Guy, he chimes in. He goes, if my aunt had, what, she'd be my uncle. Get over the losses. All right. If she had what?
A pair.
So we'll be right back. More of the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash right here on 1410 ESPN Radio. Coming up a half hour from now, Dave Jablonski, Dayton Daily News. We'll talk all things Dayton Flyers. As the A10 Media Days was yesterday. The Dayton Flyers tabbed as the preseason favorites. We'll chat with him coming up here. He'll hop on the video feed with us coming up in about a half hour. Don't go anywhere.
The Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash. Presented by Brad Mays with Home Experts Realty. Weekdays at 3 p.m. on 1410 ESPN Radio.
$8460 Dayton Springfield Road in Fairborn. Call for a free estimate at 864-2722. That's 864-2722. Or online at lanceroofing.com.
Chest up, engage your core.
At Misty's gym, boot camp gets pretty close to the real thing. She wants to spot a personal trainer with a military background.
I can cover this week's boot camp, but we need someone stat. Is it your cousin a Marine?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The new Google Pixel 7 Pro is super, especially when it's on Verizon, the network America relies on. It's supercharged, super powered, and a super...
deal.
You know it. Now, switch to Verizon and get the Google Pixel 7 Pro on us with select trade-ins and select 5G unlimited plans.
That really is super.
Yep. There's never been a better time to switch to Verizon. $899.99 device payment purchase with new smartphone line on select 5G unlimited plans required. $200 Verizon e-gift card with ported. Less $700 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. 0% APR. Trade-in conditions and additional terms apply.
It's time for Frickin' Football. Frickers has a way to make this the winning season. Try a Frickin' Chicken Taco, Grilled Chicken Taco, or Mississippi Barbecue Taco for a limited time. Enjoy a 48-ounce personal pitcher of domestic draft beer.
I like this kind of party. I like this kind of party, baby.
All the games of college and the NFL at the place that leads the way with inflation-busting prices, everyday values, and where kids eat free. The home for fun, food, sports, and spirits. Frickers.
Yo, Pablo Torre here, host of the ESPN Daily Podcast. When you want to go beyond your feed, when you want to get inside the score, when you want to get behind the highlight, there's ESPN Daily. Go deeper into the stories of the moment. Get the exclusive access and insider perspective that only ESPN can give you. ESPN Daily, hosted by me, Pablo Torre. Listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. A bottle of Gum Out Fuel Injector Cleaner can clean your entire system and help your engine get more MPGs. Right now, you can get 2 bottles for only $7. A great deal to help you go a good deal farther. Find Gum Out Fuel Injector Cleaner and everything you need for better fuel efficiency at any of our 6,200 stores.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Germain Honda Beaver Creek is your local Honda dealer. If you've been waiting to buy, now is the time. For a limited time, we have 22 Honda Passports and 22 Honda Pilots with financing as low as 1.9%, and 2022 Honda Ridgelines with financing as low as 2.9%. Remember, we can get the Honda you're looking for. We are taking deposits on current scheduled in-build new Hondas every day. See me, Sales Manager Jason High, for all the details. We're on Route 35, just east of 675, between Xenia and Beaver Creek. Germain Honda Beaver Creek, the right car, the right price, the right way.
You have empty office space to fill or home office to create. You know what you need. You know what you'd like. But you also have a pretty good idea after you've shopped around the usual places what you need and what you like might not happen. Well, then you haven't been to Charles Larrick's Warehouse Outlet. Nobody has their selection. Nobody has their discounts. And every week, there's something new. If you need office furniture, Larrick's Warehouse Outlet can sell it to you for half the price and below manufacturer's selected prices. Half price and below on hundreds of items. Selection from budget to the best. Really, desks from $50 to $5,000. Filing cabinets from $25 to $500. Before you go anywhere else, do yourself a favor and come to Larrick's Warehouse Outlet. With 25,000 square feet of selection, you're not going to go anywhere else. Larrick's Warehouse Outlet at 23 McOil Avenue, Dayton. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6. Larrick's, continuing the tradition.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Cordell Transportation is now hiring Class A CDL drivers. Excellent pay, benefits, and a $5,000 sign-on bonus. Apply today. Online at CordellTransportation.com. Driven to succeed.
Can I get the sales projections for the Springfield, Bristol, and Fairview stores?
Val's Froyo Palace is dishing out 3 more locations.
Jody, have you lined up interviews?
They need 3 new store managers before they have a meltdown.
And remember, they need at least 5 years experience.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Smart businesses are always looking for ways to improve. Better work days can start with Cintas. Your dedicated Cintas service reps help make sure you have what you need when you need it. We'll stock your essential cleaning products, deliver hygienically clean workwear, inspect your fire extinguishers, and provide first aid and safety supplies. Cintas is with you every step of the way, so you stay a step ahead. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
With Discover, you can redeem your rewards for cash in any amount at any time. Learn more at discover.com/redeem rewards. Terms apply.
We are Dayton's home of the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Down the sideline to the 10 and drags a defender in the end zone for a touchdown. Jackson Smith-Njigba, a 50-yard scoring strike from C.J. Stroud. He'll hit the Purdue 40. Down the left side to the 30. Henderson to the 20 to the 10. And into the end zone goes Henderson.
Don't miss the Buckeyes all season long. Right here on 1410 ESPN Radio and on 92.9 Jack FM. Go Bucks!
Justin Kinner, Kev Nash, back with you here on Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM. Following the show tonight, I'll be headed, just down the road. In fact, our ESPN Dayton High School football game of the week, the Fairmont Firebirds welcoming in the Centerville Elks. It's the first time we have a Centerville game on the schedule tonight, so we'll be calling someone that you're familiar with, of course.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The godson, young Reggie. I'll be out there hanging out as well.
So, oh, yeah, you will be out there.
Yes, sir. I might come up to the booth.
No.
I'm a little biased, but it's all good.
It's a little tight in the booth.
Tight.
I do get a kick out of, like, so, and by the way, Mr. Weaver over at Fairmont does a great job of getting everyone in there. But, like, there's, like, a lot of radio stations that go and carry a lot of these games. So I get a kick out of, like, I get my shows till 6, get out there. But, like, there are guys that get out there to, like, because you first come, first serve with your spot.
Yeah.
And they're getting there like 4:30. Like, when I walk in, I sense that they're just kind of looking at me like, yeah, I got my spot. I mean, you can have your spot. I'm fine. I'm so low maintenance. Like, I really don't care. As long as you don't, cancel our game on the day of a game. I really don't care where you have a sit to call it a high school football game. It's high school football. It's especially this time of year. You got that chill in the air now. Last Friday, we were at Wayne. Keith and I did the game outside.
I was just about to ask, are you brave enough to do it outside tonight?
I mean, it was cold last week too, and I was in shorts.
Shorts, really, Kenner?
Yeah.
So by kickoff, it's going to be 55 degrees, which isn't bad.
That's not bad at all. That is not bad at all. Mr. John Sladens, he says, go Fairmont. Centerville, I feel bad. Their quarterback got hurt a few weeks ago, and they were kind of heading into the final stretch.
Beaver Creek, yeah.
Yep. That was that. No, that was that Friday night game. Sorry, I was getting the Thursday night game mixed up. Not a Centerville game, of course, but nonetheless. So interesting nonetheless, but I'm excited for that call. David Shaw says, I may be able to see you out there, Kev. Oh, you don't want to see me, Shaw? You want to see me? Oh, and then he had a question. Let's see. Where did that one go? Hey, Kev, did you destroy that stupid mic? Did you?
I did not.
He did not. I still have it, Shaw. In fact, I might even bring this to the game tonight so I can interview you using your voice.
Hey,
joining us now here from Fairmont High School, we got Mr. Shaw. Shaw, how are you? Hi. This is me sounding happy. Oh, go blue. Go blue. Go Michigan. Go blue. Hey, Michigan has a chance to win this weekend and Ohio State doesn't. Oh, go blue.
Shaw, I'm going to tell you this. There's only one person that hates that mic more than you.
Who?
Me.
Oh, well, then this is good. I'm using this the rest of the show. Hey, Kev, did you destroy it? It's like you egg me on. There's a part of me that feels like you wanted the mic to be broke out today.
He did forget all about it. We're just rolling with the show, and then you had to bring it up.
Jesse Terry says, I was going to go to Fairmont game tonight, but I don't want a stalker accusation again. I'm just filling my car up with gas. Listen, I hear, hey, Kenner, which I'm always nervous when that happens. Because I'm not liked by a lot of people. I'm always fearing when I turn around, what is going to be thrown at me? Am I going to get punched? That type of thing. Jesse, you ain't a stalker. There you go. Come to Fairmont tonight. So it's high school football. It's going to be a good one here tonight. So excited about that. Fairmont's been rolling, though. They beat Centerville tonight. That means they would have beat Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
They beat Springfield. They beat Trotwood. They beat Alter. I mean, my goodness. They don't even have to win these next two, and it's already an impressive resume. But they're good enough to win the next two, obviously. So excited for that. Scott Campbell says, let's go Firebirds as well. David Shaw says, you are in the booth. How can I talk to you? I don't want you to talk to me, Shaw. I want you to stay out of the booth. You're right. I'm in the booth. Actually, Shaw's brother calls games for Fairmont.
Really?
I've not seen him this season, but yes, he's so much more likable than his brother. And I told him that too. I like you way more than your brother Shaw. Shaw's not that bad. We go back and forth on the show. He's really not. I always have to at least clarify sometimes because people who just tune in like this, he an ass to everyone. I'm like, nope, just Shaw. Just Shaw. All right. It's the Justin Kidder Show with Kev Nash. You got an update on your Guardians, by the way?
They got out of that jam they were wearing. They got out of that jam that they were in, and then they just went a 1-2-3 in it. So it's about to be the top of the 7th.
Let's see. Johnny Ortez says, let's go Flyers. I thought I saw another one from him. Oh, yeah. Johnny Ortez says, he wants me to say, Lee Estridge, your fantasy football team is crap. What is this? Cameo? What? I need to charge a fee for that, Johnny? Lee Estridge, here, I'll even give it the extra. Lee Estridge, your fantasy team is crap. How about that? Any other shout outs before I put the mic away? Anyone else?
So is mine.
75, 75, 80, 85. Kev Nash, your fantasy team is crap?
Very. We just lost 4 in a row. We're 1-4. 1-4. Though we did get off to a good start last night. I had the Commanders defense.
Well, and by the way, can we stop bashing Thursday night football like they are putting out a bad product on purpose? Do you realize coming into the season that Bengals Dolphins, and that was the last good Thursday night game. That was a good game. But like, I know the Bengals off to a slow start and the Dolphins, Tua goes out. So that dampened that game a little bit. But like, that's a hell of that's a Sunday night football worthy game.
Mm-hmm.
Two of the top AFC teams. That's a Monday night. That was on Thursday night. And getting mad about the Colts and the Broncos, folks, the Colts, be mad at the Colts and be mad at the Broncos. Be mad at Russell Wilson. Be mad at, Matt Ryan. Like Thursday night football, getting that matchup is actually pretty damn good. It stinks that it was a bad matchup. Even last night, well, that was supposed to be bad. That was your typical Thursday night schedule. But like, there's good games on Thursday night football. I mean, the Browns and Steelers a few weeks ago, that was a very good matchup. The Bengals and the Dolphins, the Colts and the Broncos, that was supposed to be a AFC. That could have been an AFC title game preview. I mean, not now, but like when the schedule comes out in the offseason and we're all looking at it and like, oh man, that's going to be exciting. Everyone just bitching and moaning and complaining about the Thursday night. Be mad about it. The games have stunk, but like getting mad at Thursday night football. Thursday night football needs to do something about this. What?
There's really nothing you can do. You can't control how the teams play. I would say they need to make Thursday night football all divisional games, if at all possible, because that way the stakes are twice as high as a regular season game. You obviously had that with the Steelers and Browns. It's a divisional game, so everything is on the line. I would like that a little bit more if we could make it work to have all divisional games on a Thursday night.
I would like to not have any Thursday games.
Well,
to be fair, like I mean, regardless,
well, I am with you 1,000% on that.
Regardless of good or bad matchups, I'm just not a fan of Thursday night football. It just seems forced. I love, all day Sunday, the Monday night game. Whatever. But like after that, like I like going that 3 or 4 or 5 day stretch where you're building towards the next big day of games, but that doesn't matter. That's never going to change. So
I like it. I hate it because I can never remember to set my fantasy team lineup.
Yeah. Well,
not that we're any good anyway.
This Sunday, by the way, the Browns, obviously their game and the Bengals game both kick off at 1:00. So we will be live at Frickers. 7:41 by the Dayton Mall. Keith Byers and I will be there for the Sunday morning tailgate. So if, again, the Kinner Top 10 listener poll is coming out, and part of the criteria for that is you got to come out, you got to support the live shows when they're out and about. 7:41 by the Dayton Mall, the Frickers location in Miamisburg over there. We'll be back out again for the Buckeye pregame starting next week, obviously for Submarine House. So we're out and about, hopping around from a lot of different sports bars. But this Sunday, Frickers in Miamisburg, 7:41 by the Dayton Mall, the Sunday morning tailgate. My favorite shows on those days, or my favorite Sunday morning tailgate shows, are when the Browns and Bengals both play, have 1 p.m. kickoffs, because then we're just sitting back after the show, and there's a lot of Browns, a lot of Bengals fans there. Both games are going at the same time. You're hearing a lot of booing and cheering, and it's a lot. Yeah, I'm enjoying when they're struggling. They're laughing at me when my team's struggling. It's a great time. Come on out.
Good times.
There you go.
Here's the next couple Thursday night matchups. Next week, you got Saints at Cardinals. Week after that, Ravens at Bucks. Week after that, Eagles at Texans. After that, Falcons at Panthers. Ooh, goodness. Titans at Packers. Bills at Patriots. Raiders at Rams. Niners at Seahawks, Jags at Jets, Cowboys at Titans.
The Jags at the Jets?
Yeah.
Sorry about that one.
Yeah. And then to close it out, Cowboys at Titans. Cowboys got 2 Thursday night games this year.
Well, and so who was it that made a good point? So Brandon Kelce, I haven't said that this week. Brandon made a good point because Amazon will demand stars from the scheduling. They paid a ton of money. Yeah, and Brandon, I think this lineup is very good this year. Repeat. Well, up to this point, last night's might have been the worst of the Thursday night games so far, correct? And not just, and I don't mean the outcome or the flow of the game. I'm talking about in June and July when the schedules were coming out for Thursday night football, when that lineup came out. Man, I saw the Colts in Denver. I'm like, holy crap, man. The Colts, that's a AFC contending team right there going up against Russell Wilson and the Broncos. And that game is the one that got ridiculed the most. I mean, these Thursday night games are horrible. Well,
yeah, I remember Monday Night Football went through this situation.
For a while, yeah.
And that's why Sunday Night Football is so special, because you have the ability to flex schedule when you get later in the year. Like you can drop a 1:00 game and push it to an 8:00 game if the matchup dictates so based on record. You can't do that with Thursday night or Monday Night Football. It's just impossible. So, I don't think they really can pull too much rank. They can make suggestions, and maybe they will, but we're NFL fanatics. People are going to watch this regardless. People are going to sign up with this streaming service regardless. I know Cincinnati Bengals fans that did not have Amazon Prime until they started to play games, and the only way you were going to be able to watch it is to have Amazon Prime.
Damon Hahn on Facebook says all Thursday night teams should be coming off of bye weeks. I agree with that as well, especially if they're going to be screaming about the player safety and everything.
So flip it around, have the bye week before, because you get that kind of like extended bye week.
So then you almost get 2 weeks off. Yeah. So I see what you're saying as far as that goes. By the way, Mr. Woods texts into the show. He goes, "Tell Kev my kids are digging the mic."
That makes one of us.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk to competing radio stations' talents on the air, but Woody, you are the man, buddy. Him and Nancy, by the way. Again, I'm breaking a lot of rules right now, but I don't really care. I'm all for people winning.
Right now,
Nancy and Woody, they do a kick-ass job on their radio station here in town, so shout out to both of them. So what up, Woody? But yeah, he said his kids love the mic.
That's family over there, man.
Yeah,
we good.
How about that? So good for him. Let's see what else. And by the way, people are sending in, they want messages so Brandon Kelty says, "Tell Sean Arnold fantasy team is booty." You hear that, Sean Arnold? Your fantasy team is booty. This is like, I'm doing this for free, just like everything I do around this station. This is cameo stuff. I have no problem. Live cameos on the air. Any shout outs to other people's fantasy teams? I don't really care. Let's see. I don't know if I'm allowed to do this one, but why not? Tell Blake his team is.
You better read that first.
Yeah, I don't know. Andy, I'm going to pass on this one just for now. I'm going to pass on this one. I at least would like a fee. If I'm going to, get in trouble for something, I might as well at least get paid for it. My goodness. But, it is what it is. All right. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash. Is it time to reveal the top 10?
Let's get it.
You know what? The mic just, damn it.
Yes.
Hey.
Do it after the break.
Testing. My mic sounds nice. What's going on here?
One.
All right.
You know who even sung that song?
No, I just hear Keith say it all the time. And then I say it and he laughs and I think, I'm funny, but I know it's from something. What's it from?
Salt and Pepper.
Well, you know me. Sounds like something I watch. I don't know.
You don't know who Salt and Pepper is?
Like I put it on my food and like the song or the singers or whatever.
The rap duo?
The rap duo, not the singers, right? You don't call them singers?
No.
Right.
Goodness gracious.
My mic sounds nice. We'll be right back. Kinner's top 10 listeners coming up next.
All the cool points you had by finally understanding cap and no cap just went out the window.
No cap. We'll be right back.
Listen, stream, watch. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, right here on Dayton's ESPN Radio, 1410 Wing AM.
Are you ready for a mealtime favorite made famous? Then stop by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken and order up a chicken pot pie combo for only $6.49. You'll get chunks of savory premium chicken, carrots, peas, and potatoes in a creamy sauce, all baked in a flaky pastry crust and served with a regular drink. This is comfort food at its finest. Get the meal that's oven fresh and wallet friendly with the chicken pot pie combo. Only at Lee's. Famous for chicken.
Houday Nation, Betfred has come all the way from England to the great state of Ohio with over 50 years of sports betting experience. No emperors, no movie stars, just a sportsbook you can trust. The Betfred Sportsbook app will be available on January 1st, 2023. Until then, download the Bengals app or go to betfredsports.com and have a chance to win Bengals tickets and exclusive merchandise. Official sports betting partner of the Cincinnati Bengals. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's. So thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover. All for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter code IMPACT at checkout. That's harrys.com, code IMPACT. Enjoy!
Don't miss the Hot Tub and Swim Spa Blowout Expo this weekend at the Montgomery County Fairgrounds. Browse over 40 hot tubs from 5 major brands at up to 50% off. Financing is available and show admission is free. That's this weekend at the Montgomery County Fairgrounds in Dayton. Visit hottuboh.com.
Ad paid for by the Sentinel Group. Attention Marines, military personnel, families, and contractors who were stationed at Camp Lejeune. Were you present at Camp Lejeune between August 1953 and December of 1987? You may be entitled to significant compensation. For nearly 34 years, those in the Marine Corps' base Camp Lejeune were exposed to contaminated drinking water, resulting in devastating injuries, including several forms of cancer, adverse birth outcomes, Parkinson's disease, and more. North Carolina's procedural laws have prevented victims from getting the justice they deserve. But passage of the Camp Lejeune Justice Act of 2022 would allow you or a loved one to file lawsuits seeking compensation for illnesses and injuries linked to the toxic water. Call today for your free consultation. 800-610-9256. Let our experienced attorneys fight to get you the compensation you deserve, and you pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. Call 800-610-9256. That's 800-610-9256. Again, 800-610-9256.
Have you heard? $5,000 sign-on bonus. That's right. My friends at Cordell Transportation are now hiring Class A CDL drivers for home daily dedicated lanes, no-touch freight with brand new equipment, and offering a $5,000 sign-on bonus paid over 18 months, paid orientation, company 401k. Plus, they're now hiring recent truck driving school graduates. Apply today. Online at CordellTransportation.com. Driven to succeed.
Give your sweetie the priceless gold box this year for Sweetest Day. Or get a special packed box of those favorite pieces. Don't wait until the last minute. Come and visit us at any of our 7 locations. Shop online at EstherPrice.com or call us to place an order. It only takes a minute to make that special someone smile when they see their gold box of their favorites. So don't forget and place your order today.
The homemade goodness everyone likes. There's a whole lot sweeter with fine chocolates from Esther Price.
Menards is your bathroom and plumbing headquarters. Complete your bathroom update with our selection of over 300 Delta products. From faucets and shower heads to tubs, accessories, and more. You're sure to find a Delta product that's right for you. Build your dream bathroom today with 11% off. All Delta products now at Menards. Good through October 16th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 2689 Commons Boulevard, Suite 100, Beaver Creek, Ohio, 45431. Online at CordellCordell.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
This is Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Scott Tomorrow.
Early voting in Ohio's 2022 election starts on October 12th, and Ohio students are counting on us to make sure the best pro-public education candidates end up in office. Ohio voters really care about solutions like addressing teacher shortages, expanding mental health services, and keeping students safe in schools. Be sure to vote.
Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
With Discover, you can redeem your rewards for cash in any amount at any time. Learn more at discover.com/redeem rewards. Terms apply.
All sports, all the time. This is 1410 ESPN Radio.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
welcome back. Justin Kinner, Kev Nash with you here on Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM. Shaw, don't you worry. My mic sounds nice once again. I have no clue what the hell that movie or song is you're talking about, so I got to go find it now.
Goodness
So in the next commercial break, that's what I'm going to do. Scott
Put
Campbell
it on the hotkeys.
says, Kenner don't know who salt and pepper are. Oh, man, thumbs down. That's not very nice. Keith Tolliver says, Kenner negative cool points now.
Definitely.
All right.
I mean, that's literally the name of the song.
Johnny Ortez says, I can't deal right now. This is the whitest thing ever. You haven't even seen me dance yet. Just saying. You haven't seen nothing until Kenner starts dancing. Yeah. Ron says, honorable mention. Honorable mention for what? Oh, you mean for the Kenner top 10.
Is it time?
It is time. It is time. It's time for the Kenner top 10. So here's how you become eligible to qualify for Kenner's top 10 rankings that come out every Friday now. You got to obviously listen. You got to be interactive on social media. You got to, be physically present at some of our live shows that we do, of course, on the weekend. All right. And then calling into the show is important as well. As long as you're checking off at least 2 or 3 of those, or you're really, really active in one of those, or I don't care. It's my freaking list. I'll just add whoever I want. But those are very important. Those are very, very important. So keep that in mind. So are you ready, Kev?
Let's do it.
If you had to guess, where would Shaw fall on this list?
Shaw has to be in the top 10.
He has to be?
Yes.
He has to be?
Yes.
Well, he's not. He's not in the top 10. He came up with the idea, but he's not in the list. He's not in the list. Let's start. Let's start at number 10, Kev. At number 10, the true American dude, Steve from Springboro. He comes out to the Sunday morning tailgate. 2 of the 4 Sundays I've been out there for every NFL Sunday morning.
He never calls. He never calls anymore.
He works second shift, dude. And he's called to tell me that personally.
And last year, he stopped calling once the Browns started losing.
I would stop. If I had the option and could afford it, I'd stop hosting after the Browns started losing.
I got to dispute that, man. I don't think he's a top 10er, man. I mean, when he's on, of course, he's a legend when he's on. But I mean,
he shows up.
We haven't heard from him. I was there. I saw him week 1.
Then he was there week 3. Then he was there the last Sunday I was out there.
So he's checking one box, man.
He's taking care. I mean, he's
he brings a lot of cool stuff to the table. The hamburger grill.
See, you don't even get him. You don't understand him. You don't get it. You don't get
correct.
it. You making fun of my salt and pepper. You don't even know hamburger drill. What's wrong with you? Coming in at number 9, Mr. Steve Stetler. Steve Stetler, the reason he's at number 9, he's very active on social media and on the Justin Kinner Show Facebook page. He left a very positive review about me. That does not happen often. So Steve Stetler comes in at number 9. Justin Smith coming in at number 8, very active on social media, also left a very positive and kind review of the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash. So that got him a lot of brownie points. But Justin Smith has also been very, very nice and very, very active on the show for quite some time. In fact, one guy went off on me on one of my reviews, and he went at the other guy for going off on me. Justin Smith gets points in my book. Plus, he's been pandering on the social media page the last couple days. I can appreciate that. Now, Mr. Mark Smith, I need you to fill time. I need to go grab something over here real quick. It goes towards Mark Smith.
All right. So we are running down Justin Kinner's top 10 listeners. Remind you, this is Justin Kinner's list, not my list.
Well, you wanted nothing to do with the list.
Correct.
So, just to be clear, oh, man, I didn't realize how blind I was whenever I do this, to be quite honest with you. But so Mark Smith comes in that high on the list because he came out to Frickers.
Okay.
And it was after I made fun of Joe Burrow's Dahmer glasses.
Oh.
I got he brought me my very own pair of Dahmer glasses. That is how you pander to the top 10 Kinner listener list.
Those Chanel?
So shout out to
those Gucci frames?
I don't know. They're pretty cool, though. I'm going to wear them the rest of the way. All right, so there we are. Now, like I said, I'm literally blinded. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we're back at it. So Mark Smith comes in at a very respectable number 7. Now, some guy comes in at number 6. Now, some guy, I hated some guy. I almost blocked him about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. Couldn't stand him. I can't stand people who don't use their actual picture on social media and troll and everything. But then he did what you're supposed to. He started being nice. And when he started being nice, I don't care if you're some guy, you're a troll. But no, very active on all social media posts. involved in the show daily. And what I respect about him, too, he calls me out on my crap. It's not like he's just agreeing with me on everything, so I could appreciate that. So I'm down with that. So some guy comes in at number 6. My guy Charlie coming in at number 5. The reason I'm giving him a little love here on this top 10 list, too, is because when we were at the Submarine House this past week, Charlie made sure to come out to say, hey, his work shift has changed. He is now third shift. He drives overnight. So he wanted to make sure that he came in to let me know that he was not avoiding me or not, not listening anymore. He listens to the show overnight.
Okay.
And he screams at me in his truck. So there you go. But I have Jesse right there. And Charlie, I'm sorry, he came all the way out and hung out with me at the remote last weekend. So I appreciate that. My God, Jesse.
Yes.
Jesse. He pisses me off from time to time, but he's a nice dude. He stopped out at the remote one time. He listens every day. He calls every day. He's social media. He checks off all the boxes.
Absolutely.
Actually, I think he could argue that he should be moved up on this list. Number 3, my guy Dick from Dayton.
Yes.
I don't think anyone should argue that Dick from Dayton does not deserve to be on the Kinner's listener top 10 list. Dick from Dayton, I don't think I've ever talked to the guy and him not been in a good mood. I mean, Dick from Dayton lights up the room, so Dick from Dayton comes in at number 3. Shout out to John and Amy Sladens, by the way. John and Amy Sladens, they've been supporting me and the show for many, many years now, whether it was just the Sunday morning show, whether it was the Kinner and Schlemmer show, obviously this show, but they go out to as many remotes as they can. I appreciate that. Very active on social media. And, luckily his wife is a Browns fan. So there's that. And then Ann Anderson coming in at number 1, Kev.
Wow.
Ann Anderson came in at number 1. Now, as I'm doing this, I'm like, man, Brian Schwederman, he called in the other day, and I was tempted to put him in there, but I had to be – Steve from Springboro is vulnerable, folks. That's the spot. Everyone's competing right now for Steve from Springboro's spot. Do you have any argument with anyone else that's in this list?
I have a couple. A couple.
Right.
One would be Mikey. Mikey has contributed to the show, has made us go viral multiple occasions. He's cussed you out on the air. He's actually made me mad on the air. I mean, it can't just be pandering to Kenner. It's about what you bring to the show and helping the show be bigger. So Mikey, I would say Mikey deserves to be mentioned. Let's see. The Ron. Yes, the Ron has cussed on the air before, but yes, Ron adds a high entertainment value to the show. Obviously, Shaw. Shaw loves our show, even though you hate him for some strange reason. He still listens, and we appreciate him. And
he calls me names first.
First? Are you sure?
Yes.
I'm not sure about that. I'm not
I
sure
never
about
started,
that.
but I finished it.
I'm not sure about that. So we got Shaw in and Green Bay Packers fan Tim. Come on, man.
That is true. And he does, that's fair. That's fair. I don't mind. So every week, this because Kev's going to critique it. But then again, you have 6 days? To change this. You have 6 days to change this, folks.
And the number one person that should have been on the list.
Ann Anderson is the number 1.
I know. Ann definitely should be on the list.
By the way, the reason I have her at number 1 is because she is always the most upset when we're not on the air. And then there was a time years ago where she actually emailed our bosses to have me fired. She hated me. She couldn't stand me. Like she said she would rather listen to the worst national show in the country than listen to me. And now she's very nice. And she still calls me out of my BS. If she's mad at me because we're not talking enough baseball, she has no problem ripping me a new one. And then she's right back the next day. So shout out to Miss Ann Anderson.
And I'm watching baseball right now.
What's the score?
It is still tied at 2, bottom of the 8th. Bottom of the 8th, no outs. And another person.
Who?
Pam.
We haven't heard from Pam in a long time.
True. But definitely worthy of mention. Honorable mention.
Deborah deserves. She should have been. She called in the other day.
Oh, yeah. She was awesome.
Deborah was awesome. So she's in the running. Look, John Slayton's. See, y'all just jealous of Mr. Slayton's here. Appreciate it. Offer still open to stop by Patterson Pub for a beverage during a game sometime. See, this is how you do it. John Slayton's. He's doing a good job already. The top 10 list is out and already doing his best. But that is the Kenner Top 10. And one more time for all of you out there. Steve from Springboro, dude, coming in at number 10. Steve Stetler and Justin Smith at 9 and 8 because they left positive reviews on the Justin Kinner Show Facebook page. I always appreciate that. Mark Smith because he brought me Joe Burrow's Dahmer glasses. That was pretty cool when he came out to the Frickers remote, so I always appreciated that. So there you go. Some guy always active on social media, always trolling the Bengals fans, taking the load off my back, so that always helps. Charlie coming in at number 5. Charlie and Jesse. A lot of Bengals fans on here. That
Yeah,
should prove I show no
surprise.
bias. And I appreciate that all the Bengals fans who hate me tune in every day. This proves that for you whiny babies out there that say, oh, man, I don't know why anyone listens to the show because all they do is bash the Bengals, because there's cool people like Jesse and Charlie and Mark and some of these other guys that are Bengals fans, but they know how to have fun instead of being like you. Oh, you have to go to you have to be told what you. Never mind, we're running out of time here. Dick from Dayton, what up, Dick? Hey, the Sladens, John and Amy coming in at number 2, and Ann Anderson coming in at number 1. Ann Anderson, she has a good grip on that number 1. I'm just saying. Plus, she intimidates the hell out of me. When she's mad and upset, I always like my stomach drops because she, like I said, she messaged my bosses one time. I was like, "Come on, Ann, I thought we were cool." There you go. Call into the show. Be active with the show. Be active in social media. Come out to remotes from time to time. That's how you get brownie points and come on the top 10 each and every Friday. All right, let's switch gears here. We're going to talk about Dayton Flyers basketball. David Jablonski with the Dayton Daily News. He's going to hop on to the video feed with us. He's going to be talking Dayton Flyers, A10 Media Days with us. He just got back from Brooklyn, so I'm excited to be chatting with him. He joins us in 3 minutes. Don't go anywhere. More of the Justin Kinder Show with Kev Nash next.
When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside.
The Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash. Presented by Brad Mays with Home Experts Realty. Weekdays at 3 p.m. on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Fall into a new career. KTH Parts Industries has immediate openings, second shift production associates, and equipment technicians. Material handling experience is a plus. This is an excellent new opportunity that offers an attractive benefit package, medical, dental, 401k, attendance bonus, and a competitive wage, starting at $19.75 per hour with annual increases. KTH is hosting open interviews Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. through 3 p.m. Visit kth.net. KTH is an equal opportunity employer.
Wendy's new French toast sticks are so delicious, some are saying that they're better than their mom's breakfast.
Excuse me. Did you just say Wendy's new French toast sticks are better than my breakfast?
Mom, is that you?
Answer the question.
I said some people are saying that because they're so crispy on the outside and fluffy on the inside and perfect in every way.
Uh-huh. And what do you think?
I think it's time to tell people to choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new sweet and crispy home-style French toast sticks.
That's still not an answer.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Yo, Pablo Torre here, host of the ESPN Daily Podcast. When you want to go beyond your feed, when you want to get inside the score, when you want to get behind the highlight, there's ESPN Daily. Go deeper into the stories of the moment. Get the exclusive access and insider perspective that only ESPN can give you. ESPN Daily, hosted by me, Pablo Torre. Listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
For Butch's Coffee. For EJ's Sandwich Shop. For Springfield Family Dental.
Every day, Staples helps every kind of small business create bold signs that sing. And now get $10 off custom signs, banners, and posters when you spend $50 or more. Ends 12/31. Visit staplesconnect.com/thisisyoursign for details.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy inherited properties, vacant homes, rentals, commercial properties, and apartment buildings. Give us a call today and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
When I got the news, I was shocked. I was scared. I was angry. When I heard it could be treated with the right care, I was relieved. I was happy. I was given a second chance.
Urology Specialists of Ohio offers men peace of mind. 5 physicians and 5 locations. Now accepting new patients. Make an appointment with a physician that cares about your health and prevention. Urology Specialists of Ohio, Beaver Creek, Springfield, Urbana, Xenia, and London. Online at urologyspecialistsofohio.com.
The best audio entertainment this fall is on Audible. It's the home of storytelling with audiobooks, exclusive originals, popular podcasts, and more. All in one app. Sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com.
About the team and the expectations coming up and what you took away from A10 Media Days yesterday. But I always ask coaches or players this, and especially media members heading into a season, it seems normal now, right? Like, is this the first normal, normal start to the season for a while for you? I'm sure. I mean, I remember you and Mike Hartsock and others were heading to Brooklyn, where you just got back from, for the A10 tournament, of course, and then that's when the whole world flipped upside down. But a sense of normalcy, I'm sure, is well received from you, I'm assuming.
That was my first question when I sat down at the round table with Anthony Grant yesterday. Was it surreal to be back here at the Barclays Center? And I said, did you even get to the Barclays Center in 2020 before it was canceled? He said he was on his way to the arena. And so was I. I flew into New York City that morning, March 12th, 2020, knowing that it was probably going to get canceled, but it wasn't official yet. And I got there just in time for the press conference where they announced the cancellation. Mike Rhodes from VCU and Matt McCall of UMass were there to talk for the conference. And then we met Neil Sullivan, Dayton's AD, outside the arena with Mike Hartsock and Jack Pohl. So it was worth it going because we got that reaction, but it was a very sad day that we closed off at a famous restaurant in Brooklyn, Junior's. And, yesterday, the first time back at that arena, at least since that day. So it was crazy, and it was back to normal. And it was great being in person, seeing Archie Miller again for the first time. Last time I saw him was on the sideline at the Indiana-Ohio State game in 2017. When he saw me sit down with that camera, he's like, there's that camera. He's used to me shooting this photo for so many times over 4 years. He said, there's that camera. I was like, yep, you're deep in my archives, but now I got some new shots of you. So it was a cool day being in Brooklyn yesterday.
Yeah, and with that being said, you're talking about that sense of normalcy now. There was a lot of reasons why the Flyers started out slow last year, but I mean, the fan base, there was just that lull of that hangover, I guess, from the disappointment of not getting to see that 20 team really, show off in the NCAA tournament that year. Was there a sense in your time covering this team? Did you sense that as well? I know it was a lot of new players and not a lot of players on that 20 roster that had come back, but did you get a sense of that disappointment that maybe it took a while to really get over that, of never really having that opportunity to kind of put that talent on full display from the year before?
Right. That 1-3 start was just the latest blow to the fan base after the cancellation of the 2020 postseason. The 2021 season was awful for a lot of programs, but I mean, everybody was going through the same thing, really no excuses. But Dayton had, enough seniors should have had a stronger season, didn't, settled for another NIT bid, never really contended in the A10. So it was just it was not a fun season or not an enjoyable season in any way, especially with fans not at the arena. It was like, why are we even here? Mm-hmm. And then last year, you got all this excitement, these new players. Nobody really knows what to expect, and it looked like it was going to be a disastrous season after the 3 straight home losses. So a lot of credit to those guys for turning the season around when it could have gone the other way for sure, and turn it around fast with 3 victories in Florida, especially the victory over Kansas. So it was a fun season, but ultimately disappointing because of the ending. And then yet another blow to the fans and to the Flyers with Malachi Smith's injury in Brooklyn, the first team left out of the NCAA tournament. You just can't write that kind of script for what Dayton had already been through. So I think Dayton fans hope this is the season they're rewarded for their suffering. And the same goes for the Flyers and the coaches, because, they've been through a lot in the last couple of years.
We have David Jablonski with us, covers the Dayton Flyers for the Dayton Daily News. Just got back from Brooklyn from the A10 Media Days yesterday. And to the surprise of nobody, the Dayton Flyers, of course, for the upcoming season, with so much talent returning and a lot of expectations, they're the A10 preseason favorites. Obviously, that's not a surprise to you or anybody else out there, but you're right. It seems that they've had enough blows to the fan base, the program itself. They've had the highs of highs and the lows of lows over the last year and a half. It's time to put that behind them, and now it just seems like, okay, it's full steam ahead. We have a lot of expectations, a lot of, I think it's a good balance of experienced talent from a season ago with some talented newcomers coming in. This is obviously going to be one of the deeper teams for Anthony Grant, in your opinion. Your expectations for this team, obviously not just as the preseason favorite, but a very talented group heading in, most likely going to be a top 25 team when those preseason rankings come out.
Right. I just submitted my I voted in the AP poll and submitted my poll today. It was due today. I have Dayton number 20, St. Louis number 21. Gonzaga is my top pick, although it could have been North Carolina just as easily. I think those are probably the 2 teams that are going to get most of the first place votes. But yeah, this is the first time I've ever even been tempted to vote for Dayton in 3 seasons, voting in the poll. The last 2 seasons, obviously, they didn't come close to capturing the attention of the voters. Even with that victory over Kansas, he still had those 3 terrible losses behind them. last year. So, yeah, they'll be number 20. I'm glad I don't have to worry about being a homer because I think most people will have them ranked. They should be in the top 25 in the preseason, which hasn't happened for quite a while. Even that 29-win team a couple years ago only got one vote in the preseason poll.
Yeah.
So this is a whole different scenario. Lots of hype for this team. There are certainly no guarantees. Injuries certainly could change things for every team, but you're right. They have the depth to maybe overcome any injuries. And the depth to get them over the hump of a long season and maybe avoid some of those those landmines in the A10 that have always hurt Dayton teams over the years. And they got to win some of those non-conference games too in the battle for Atlantis. Tough early schedule. Yeah. UNLV early in the season. SMU, this is their second game. UNLV is the third game, so they're going to be tested early and often. And so we'll find out what they're made of.
Yeah, Wyoming, another NCAA tournament team from a season ago, definitely going to be well tested in the non-conference. It's interesting. I remember Archie Miller led teams. They were the great underdog, and then when they would crack that top 25, that it just always seemed they would have that suffering loss right after that. They were never able to sustain it when they would have reached that peak. Anthony Grant-led teams seemed to be different. Now, I know we're basing it off of that 2020 season, but it never seemed like the pressure got to them when they cracked that top 25, and they almost fed off of it. Is that the sense you're getting here? Because this is a much different scenario. They're not heading into the season, off the radar and having to prove themselves. Now they're having to prove themselves just in a different way. They have to prove that they're worthy in the eyes of the non-Power 5, worshipers out there, that they're worthy of being in the top 25. Your thoughts on how that can maybe change the approach for this team, having the expectations being so high heading in, maybe a little bit different than in years past?
You're right. Everybody expected that 2020 team to falter at some point and drop in the polls.
Yeah.
Because that's what always happened in the past to Archie's teams. They would get there and then, lose right away and would have to fight their way back or maybe not even get back in the poll. So that was different. This team, right, still has to prove itself, especially with everybody coming after it this season. It knows it's going to be the hunter. That was said a lot yesterday. You're not the hunter now. You're the hunted. That will have the targets on its. They will have the target on their back. That was said a million times yesterday. All the cliches were used, but it's really true. Teams are going to want to play Dayton. If they're in the top 25, they're going to want to play well against Dayton. It's going to be a big opportunity for everybody that does play them as long as they're in the poll. But they weren't ranked at all last year. They got to, back up that ranking. Assuming they get it on Monday. The poll comes out at noon on Monday, and we'll find out where Dayton is ranked. And after that, it's all on the Flyers. But they have all the tools to live up to it.
It's funny. I remember that the season after, or last season, I guess, heading into last season, Sully, Sully, him and I had this conversation about, it sounds weird and there's going to be a hot take of mine, but I feel like that 2020 season could be a bad thing for the future of the expectations of teams, because a good 2022-23 team may not be that 2020 team. And so it may not feel the same. And the same thing even for Deron Holmes heading into this season. Obviously, a lot of expectations for him, but it's like, man, if they're not as good as 2020, will it feel the same? If he's not as good as Obi Toppin, will it feel the same? Obviously, Flyers fans aren't dumb. They know what they're watching, but do you know what I mean? Like, having to compare the success of this team to that 2020 team, is it fair to hold that standard to this team heading in your opinion?
Well, like it or not, they will be compared to that team a lot every step of the way, at least as long as they're winning. But it will be very hard to live up to that success. 29 wins, 18-0 in the A10. One, I think the A10 is better than it was that year. VCU was the favorite that year and kind of fell apart, did not have a good season at all. And Dayton wasn't challenged that much. It had a couple close games. St. Louis almost beat it. Jalen Kutcher saved the Flyers there, but wasn't as good a St. Louis team as the St. Louis team that Dayton will face this year. So 16-2 or 17-1, even 15-3 might be better than 18-0, considering the state of the conference this year. So, yeah, they will be compared, but you have to, put it in perspective too, and realize it's a different team, different season, and it's hard to compare, different seasons over a couple of years. Yeah, the 2019-20 team will forever be compared to all future Dayton teams, but this team especially, considering it was only 3 seasons ago, will be compared every step of the way, especially as long as they're still in the top 25. But I think it will be hard to live up to that 29-win season, 18-0 in the A10, because the A10 is a lot better than it was 3 seasons ago. VCU was the preseason favorite that year, I believe, and really had a disappointing season. This year you got St. Louis, which could be in the top 25 in the preseason. If not then, it will be soon. And there's a lot of strong teams. I think VCU, Davidson, Loyola's in the conference. That makes the conference tougher. So fair or not, the Dayton Flyers will be compared to that 2019-20 team this season, but I think fans should put it in perspective and realize that even if they fall short of 29 wins, they could be just as good.
Still a chance to run into Kansas in the non-conference. That's always fun right there. Everyone always, who's Dayton's rival? Obviously, you go in the A-10, that's fine, but it's weird seeing a national power like Kansas. If they happen to run into them again, there's a good chance it could possibly happen if they can get through that first game. I mean, it's weird to say that, hey, Kansas is kind of oddly enough kind of turned into this weird little non-conference rival for the Flyers, if you will. It's been fun watching those games over the last couple of years as well.
That would be fun. This would be the tiebreaker if they meet in the battle for Atlantis, because Dayton lost to Kansas in the Maui Invitational Championship game in overtime. That was a great game, and Dayton got revenge last year in the ESPN Events Invitational in Orlando with that amazing shot by Mustafa Amsil. So if they do meet again, especially Kansas being the defending national champion, a lot of storylines there. But the main one being, the winner of that wins the 3-game series, I guess.
All right, last thing before you go, David Jablonski, Dayton Flyers beat writer for Dayton Daily News. You mentioned Archie Miller a little bit ago. You had a chance to catch up with him. When last year, I guess it was towards the end of last season, he's going to take over at Rhode Island. Of course, it's pretty exciting. Again, back in the A-10. Dayton will play at Rhode Island this year. We'll have to wait one more season for his return to UD Arena. What is your sense of the pulse of Flyers fans' feelings towards him? Because I thought he did exactly what he was supposed to. He came here, he won, he put them on the map. He went on to take a bigger job like we see. I know Flyers fans don't like that. But when we are here a year from now talking about him returning to UD Arena, will the fans boo him? Should they boo him? Should they not boo? Your thoughts on how that's all going to go down? I know that's way in the future, but it will be fun to see Archie Miller on the sideline again against Dayton this coming up season.
It's mixed, but I think the majority of fans appreciate what he did at Dayton and understand why he left. Of course, there are always going to be fans who criticize him for taking the money and leaving, as most coaches always do. And, we'll talk about the grass not being greener in Bloomington, which it sure wasn't. But he will definitely get cheers when he first comes out at UD Arena more than a year from now. But after that, he'll be treated like every other coach. So he'll get heckled by the student section for sure. But there'll be some, recognition of 4 straight NCAA tournament appearances that he took Dayton to, something no coach has done at UD. So it'll be fun. That was the first thing I asked him yesterday when I sat down at the round table with him, because nobody asked him about returning to UD at his introductory press conference. He was mostly able to put off the question saying it's not on my mind right now because I don't have to worry about it for a while. But we talked about that. Talked about what he thought about watching his old players in the TBT last summer. He was definitely watching those games, thought they should have won it. All those guys on the team, all the Flyers at least, were recruited by Archie. So it was basically his team. And we talked about what he thought about Anthony Grant and what Dayton's program has become since he left. And he was very applauded Anthony very much for what he's done. Said Dayton's in a great position. Said they should be a top 10, top 15 team this season. So he had a lot of great things to say about Dayton. And he's always a good quote, and it was good to talk to him.
All right, good stuff. David Jablonski, Dayton Daily News, covers the Dayton Flyers. I'm sorry, David. I appreciate you taking time. Like I said, it's been a while since you've been on the show. Looking forward to having you on more throughout the season. But glad you're back from Brooklyn, and I'm glad the season's almost here. So thanks for your time today.
All right, man. Let's have next time. Let's talk about the Gem City Jam coming back.
I thought about it. I'm like, I've been on my best behavior lately. I'm maturing as a host. I'm trying to.
I push that thing on all the time on Twitter, so we could do a whole show about it to really anger the.
All right. Well, good stuff, right. David. Thank you so much.
See you.
Again against Dayton this coming up season.
It's mixed, but I think the majority of fans appreciate what he did at Dayton and understand why he left. Of course, there are always going to be fans who criticize him for taking the money and leaving, as most coaches always do. And we'll talk about the grass not being greener in Bloomington, which it sure wasn't. But he will definitely get cheers when he first comes out at UD Arena more than a year from now. But after that, he'll be treated like every other coach. So he'll get heckled by the student section for sure. But there'll be some, recognition of, 4 straight NCAA tournament appearances that he took Dayton to, something no coach has done at UD. So it'll be fun. That was the first thing I asked him yesterday when I sat down at the round table with him, because nobody asked him about returning to UD at his introductory press conference. He was mostly able to put off the question saying it's not on my mind right now because I don't have to worry about it for a while. But we talked about that, talked about what he thought about watching his old players in the TBT last summer. He was definitely watching those games, thought they should have won it. All those guys on the team, all the Flyers at least, were recruited by Archie. So it was basically his team. And we talked about what he thought about Anthony Grant and what Dayton's program has become since he left. And he was very applauded Anthony very much for what he's done. Said Dayton's in a great position. Said they should be a top 10, top 15 team this season. So he had a lot of great things to say about Dayton, and he's always a good quote, and it was good to talk to him.
All right, good stuff. David Jablonski, Dayton Daily News, covers the Dayton Flyers. I'm sorry. David, I appreciate you taking time. Like I said, it's been a while since you've been on the show. Looking forward to having you on more throughout the season. But glad you're back from Brooklyn, and I'm glad the season's almost here. So thanks for your time today.
All right, man. Let's have next time. Let's talk about the Gem City Jam coming back.
I thought about it. I'm like, I've been on my best behavior lately. I'm maturing as a host. I'm trying to.
I push that thing on all the time on Twitter, so we could do a whole show about it to really anger the.
All right, well, good stuff, David. Thank you so much.
See ya.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash.
Justin, you're awesome, baby.
Right here on 1410 ESPN Radio. ESPN 1410 Wing AM weather.
The mid-afternoon and early evening will be clear, sunny, and windy, a high near 65. Tonight's going to be mostly cloudy, a low near 45. And tomorrow's going to be partly cloudy, a high near 60. I'm Pete Spivak for 1410 ESPN Radio.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
It's time for Frickin' Football. Frickers has a way to make this the winning season. Try a Frickin' Chicken Taco, Grilled Chicken Taco, or Mississippi Barbecue Taco for a limited time. Enjoy a 48-ounce personal pitcher of domestic draft beer.
I like this kind of party. I like this kind of party, baby.
All the games of college and the NFL at the place that leads the way with inflation-busting prices, everyday values, and where kids eat free. The home for fun, food, sports, and spirits. Frickers.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry's starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter code IMPACT at checkout. That's harrys.com, code IMPACT. Enjoy!
At the Montgomery County Veterans Service Commission, we help veterans and their dependents navigate the process of applying for benefits administered by the VA. We can assist with VA claims, pensions, and a variety of benefits, including emergency financial assistance, transportation, and legal services. If you are a veteran or a spouse of a veteran, a wide range of services may be available to you, always at no cost to the veteran. We are honored and proud to serve all Miami Valley veterans. Contact us today at 937-225-4801.
Wendy's new French toast sticks are so delicious, some are saying that they're better than their mom's breakfast.
Excuse me. Did you just say Wendy's new French toast sticks are better than my breakfast?
Mom, is that you?
Answer the question.
I said some people are saying that because they're so crispy on the outside and fluffy on the inside and perfect in every way.
Uh-huh. And what do you think?
I think it's time to tell people to choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new sweet and crispy home-style French toast sticks.
That's still not an answer.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
That's the sound of a crack in the ceiling found at a home inspection.
But with a Realtor by your side, a newfound leak might only cause minor worries. With their expertise, a Realtor can suggest a credit at closing and even connect you to a contractor to help you shore up that leak and alleviate your worries. When it comes to cracks in your plans, the expertise of a Realtor can make all the difference. The difference between an agent and a Realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Don't put it off any longer. You know it's time. Time for a bathroom upgrade by Bath Creations. Bath Creations is a leader in bathroom renovations, providing the very best value in bath and shower remodeling and proudly made in the USA. With Bath Creations, you get a beautiful modern bathroom that's safe, comfortable, and affordable. Attention first responders, veterans, and active military. Save $500 off your purchase right now. Visit Poe Avenue in Dayton or online at mybathcreations.com. And upgrade today. Cordell Transportation is now hiring Class A CDL drivers. Excellent pay, benefits, and a $5,000 sign-on bonus. Apply today. Online at CordellTransportation.com. Driven to succeed.
At Menards, upgrade your home with new appliances. We carry top brands including KitchenAid, Maytag, Whirlpool, Amana, and Criterion, with the largest in-stock appliance selection to take home today at the lowest prices. You'll be sure to find what you need. Upgrade to new energy-efficient appliances and save with 11% off all of them. Savings good through October 16th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards. O'Reilly.
It's Superstart Battery Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Get up to a $25 gift card after a mail-in rebate with the purchase of select Superstart batteries. For power, performance, and reliability, choose Superstart batteries. We also have battery solutions for many hybrid and electric vehicles. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
Or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. I am hungered in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungeredInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
With Discover, you can redeem your rewards for cash in any amount at any time. Learn more at discover.com/redeem rewards. Terms apply.
College football playoffs, Browns, Bengals, Buckeyes, and more. Catch the Keith Byers Show Mondays at noon on 1410 ESPN Radio.
The Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash. We are live here on Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM. So here's the deal. Making the top 10. I was feared I was going to leave some people out, and I did leave some people out on accident. There was one. I don't admit when I'm wrong often. I will admit I was wrong on this one. Mr. Nick. And Nick, I don't know how to pronounce your last name, and it's very close to being dangerous, but it's Focht. I'm going to go with Focht. Or is it the other one? I'm just going to say Focht. But Nick has he actually goes back all the way to when I was just doing the Reds pregame show, which was a program we did just, periodically. Anytime the Reds had like a 7:10 first pitch back when Mark Neal was still here, and I was doing that. Nick was a regular caller when I was just, this is about 10 years ago. So Nick, I fudged up. Nick is interactive on social media. He calls all the time. I did leave Nick off, so my fault. I folked up. All right. So Nick,
watch it, Kenner.
His last name is Folked. I think it's something else, but that would be towing the line. All right. I'm trying not to toe the line as much. But Nick, my bad on that one. So Lamar Shelley says no Billy Wright or the True American. The True American is in my top 10. The True American comes out to remotes. He comes out, he has some beers. He sits right next to us. He chimes in. One time he wanted me to say something that was inappropriate that I wasn't allowed to say, but he was, he's right there. He's supporting the show. True American in my top 10. No problem with that. So the True American is in my top 10, Lamar. Billy Wright. Billy, him and I go way back as well. He's not, we don't talk as much now. So, but he was just on the outside looking in. He was hanging out with Shaw. And Lamar, you get heavy consideration as well. He's always interactive on here. I think Lamar has called in a time or two before. So, Lamar, you're just on the cusp. Now, William Yelly, some people are taking this personal, Kev.
Uh-oh.
William Yelly says, my top 5 radio show hosts. Number 1, Colin Cowherd. Number 2, not Justin Kinner. Number 3, not Justin Kinner. Ooh, man. Number 4, not Justin Kinner. And then number 5.
Could it be?
Definitely not Justin Kinner. So, William, you're so close. A call, maybe? A call? An appearance on a live show? You're so close to cracking the top 10. I'm just throwing it out there. Jesse Terry, he says he's overrated. All right, well, you're out of the top 10 next time if it's that simple. But all right, 518-1410, 518-1410. Let's go to Gary. Gary, how are you, sir? Welcome.
Hey, buddy. How's it going?
Not too bad. I believe this is the first time I've heard from you. Is this Gary Toole?
This is Gary the Tool Jr.
Gary. So this, I think, is your first time calling into the show, correct?
It is. It is.
I look at you, and I wonder why. You're getting brownie points. I like it. There's a point next to your name
listen,
now.
I can only listen when I'm on my way home from work because I have to pick up my kids. So I don't get a chance to call in. I know I give you a lot of heck, but hey, man, I love the show. Absolutely love it. You and Kev do awesome.
Appreciate it.
Hey, so our good friend Dickie. I know
Dick
I'm a
from
little
Dayton,
late to the
baby.
show, but I've known him. I've known him for years, and I seen him at the wharf the other day. He was looking sharp, dressed up in a nice suit.
You said at the wharf, Dickie's a cigar smoker?
At the wharf over by the Fairfield Mall, picking up some cigars.
Nice.
And he was looking sharp, and he was talking about how he just retired, and he was going out to celebrate. So I wanted to give Dickie an on-air shout-out. Congratulations, buddy.
Yeah, Dickie. He called in. He was so excited to tell us that he was retiring. He always calls in to tell us where he's going to be performing at that weekend. Yes, he is in the top 10 as well. And you calling in, there's serious consideration for you cracking the top 10 next week. By the way.
Well, hey, buddy. Look, I appreciate that, but like I said, I know I always give you crap on here, but it's all in good fun. I appreciate the show. You always do an amazing job. You and Kevin both. So I appreciate you getting me on air, and I appreciate you giving me the time to give Dick a shout out. Like I said, I've known him for years and years. I don't get to see him as often as I'd like, but hey, you guys do an amazing job, and I listen every day. Wish I could participate more, but I'm usually driving, so that really wouldn't be great to try and drive and text and talk and all that.
That would be kind of dangerous, but no, we appreciate your call, Gary. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, have a great day, guys.
Later.
Yeah, so people don't need to apologize for giving me crap on the page. I always say it's sports talk. It's not religion. It's not politics. It's sports talk. I may have high blood pressure from time to time.
Y'all know what to do in the chat.
Yeah, but it is what it is. So Nolan Russell says, I'm top 10 on my list. See, there you go. Nolan's very active on the page, too. See, I only have room for 10 people. It means you step your game up. Step your game up. That's all. 518-1410. Jesse, how are you, sir?
Who's that? Is this Jesse?
This is Jesse. This is Jesse, the number. Hold up. Where did I have you ranked? I can't remember. Jesse, the number four on the Kinner listener top 10. How about that? Congratulations. I'm sure this is the biggest award you've ever had.
Hey, you know what? I got a sportsmanship award when I was in 8th grade, so I don't want to hear all that smack. All right.
This is like the Dundies. This is the equivalent to the Dundies. I'm going to have to start getting little trophies to hand out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sportsmanship award is when you ride the bench all year, but you show up to practice every day. That's pretty much what
I got that
was.
same award too, man. So we have a lot in common.
Yeah. I wasn't really calling in to thank you about the ranking, though. That was very flattering.
Oh, yeah.
I was calling you for helping me out with arguments with my wife because she gives me crap about calling in all the time. And then she heard this top 10 list, and old Jess pops up at number 4. I'm like, you see that? You see that, honey? I'm kind of a big deal. All right, that's why I call in all the time. This argument is over. Okay, so thank you for proving me right. I very rarely win arguments in this house, and you really helped me out a lot. I really do appreciate that, guys.
Well, it's what we're here for. It's what we're keeping marriages together. That's what this show is for.
Hey, it didn't help that much, but yeah, I appreciate you thinking. Hey, y'all.
All right, Jesse.
Y'all have a good weekend, man. Nice talk to you.
All right,
later.
518-1410. All right. So, by the way, we are going to talk a little sports today. We're going to get to our top 2 upset picks in college football and our top 2 upsets in the NFL. The problem with the NFL right now, Kev, is The upsets I want to pick, like there are big, like the spreads are interesting for this weekend, but like the teams that like the Rams have an interesting, hold up, let me pull this up just to make sure I have this correct. So the Rams are a 10-point favorite over the Panthers, but I don't trust the Panthers, or I don't trust the Rams right now.
Right.
The Panthers could be a sneaky team there, but then again, I've said they would win their division. How about the Tampa? They're a 9-point favorite over your Steelers. The Steelers, I'm still not used to picking against them so consistently, but that's where we're at. The Ravens and Giants, that's an interesting one. We'll get to that one in a moment, but 518-1410, the one, the only. What? That's right. Every one of you that said Steve from Springboro should not be on my top 10 because he hasn't called in. He's a hardworking dude. All right. He comes out to shows. He supports the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash. That's why he's in the top 10. Everybody welcome Steve from Springboro, dude. How are you, sir?
What up, dude? Hey, how long have you known me? Probably, 3 years?
3 years,
yeah. 3 years?
Yep.
Okay. And I know you're not going to believe this, but I'm sitting here watching the Indians, dude, and I'm rooting for the land, baby.
It's 2-2.
And they're the Indians to me. The Indians, the Cleveland Indians, not the Guardians. And I want to see them pull this off. And if they get to, they go back to Progressive tomorrow, I'd love to see it. I'm all about the land, man. The Cavaliers, Browns first. You know that as well as I do.
Hey, I went to my first Browns game this past weekend, Steve.
I know. But you know what? It's going to be all right, man. As long as we can hover around 300, be a couple games above 300 when Watson gets back with that running game. The defense definitely needs some work. They need to fire that, so-called defensive coordinator that we have. That why he sucks. They brought him from Denver. He sucks. I don't know why they hired him. But anyway, also our two safeties, Johnson from the Rams and Delpit, they suck. They need to be benched. I've seen them get scorched I don't know how many times. The only defensive back we got is Ward, and he can't seem to stay healthy. I hope this Emerson kid this week can step it up and do something. But let's take one game at a time, like my old buddy Marty. God rest his soul. One game at a time, one play at a time. Some's going to be up, some's going to be down. That's the NFL. It is a parity season. And let me get real quick about the, you've got your top 10.
Yes.
Well, I'm working on a hamburger grill list. A new one, an updated one. It's been a while.
Uh-huh.
Friday is the only day I have off, dude. I retired after working 47 years in the paper industry.
Absolutely.
So all the people say that I don't call in and want to be criticism of me, they can kiss my 260-pound ass. Doesn't bother me. I don't care. Bengals fans, you're at the top of the list on the hammer. All of you, whoever call in. Let's see, what's his name?
Shaw. David Shaw.
No. Well, yeah.
Oh.
Coleslaw is a soft food. It doesn't have any texture. It doesn't have any strength to it. It doesn't make you strong if you eat it. So he's soft anyway. He don't matter. Tampa of Ron that always rips on the Browns. He needs to decide whether he's going to be a Bengal fan or a Tampa fan. And I want everybody to get off your back about you being a hater, because I'm the true Cincinnati Bengal hater in this area.
Absolutely.
Go Browns. Hopefully I'll see you Sunday, dude.
There he is, Steve from Springboro, the one, the only, number 10 on the Kinner top 10 listener list. And you just heard the passion, the excitement right there. Number 10, and y'all doubted him. He hasn't called. He called after a loss. He only can call it on Fridays. He's a hardworking true American, and he supports a game under 300 Cleveland Browns.
I got nothing.
It's the Justin Kinner Show.
He's a legend.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio. Jacob Fightmaster says Baker would have the Browns at what record, Kinner? 1-4. Possibly. Jacoby Brissett's been that good. Jacoby Brissett's actually put them in position to win games, but he's also thrown an interception to lose every single game too. So it's in between. Look, the Browns' problems aren't at quarterback right now. They're getting very, very good quarterback play who's made some mistakes at crucial times of games, but that defense has just been bad. And now there's going to be no Jadeveon Clowney. He played his 1 game a month that is apparently in his contract. And then my guy Denzel Ward, he's out. So, there's that. So it is what it is. But Jacob Fightmaster, he says David Shaw is a good man in my opinion. Go blue. So what's this blasphemy happening here? All right. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash.
He's the best.
Is he on hold?
He is.
He can hold a little longer. We'll be right back. David Shaw is going to join us coming up, and then we're going to give our upsets. Yeah, high school football coming up tonight. I'm excited. I can't believe we had another coworker walk through the building a little bit ago. They're going to be at the Fairmont Centerville game tonight as well. This is like the game.
The game of
the
Miami
week.
Valley
tonight. That is why we have it right here on 1410 ESPN Radio. Keith Byers and myself will be on the call. Kickoff at 7 o'clock, so make sure you tune in and hang out with us tonight, 7 o'clock on 1410 ESPN Radio. We'll talk upsets. We'll talk NFL. We'll talk NBA. We'll get NBA, yes. That's coming up around the corner, too, by the way.
Tuesday.
The Lakers with Russell Westbrook, apparently, right now, like that, they're going to bring him off the bench, which I think is smart. But nonetheless, there's drama. I love drama. Chaos, drama. I'm all about it. We'll be right back. Shaw, you hear that? Oh, hold up. Let's we're coming for you, Shaw. Shaw is up next right here on 1410 ESPN Radio.
The Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, presented by Brad Mays with Home Experts Realty. Weekdays at 3 p.m. on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Have you heard? $5,000 sign-on bonus. That's right. My friends at Cordell Transportation are now hiring Class A CDL drivers for home daily dedicated lanes, no-touch freight with brand new equipment, and offering a $5,000 sign-on bonus paid over 18 months, paid orientation, company 401k. Plus, they're now hiring recent truck driving school graduates. Apply today. Online at CordellTransportation.com. Driven to succeed.
Want to make tonight's dinner a true winner? Just stop by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken and pick up a 12-piece family meal at a great price. You'll get 12 pieces of our classic Famous Recipe Chicken that's honey-dipped, hand-breaded, and pressure-cooked just right, along with 3 of our large sides and 6 fluffy biscuits. This is temptation times 12. Get the family meal that's big on flavor and on value with the 12-piece family meal. Only at Lee's. Famous for chicken.
If you need new roofing, siding, or gutters, skylights, or patio enclosures, if you're a homeowner or business and need someone you can trust, don't take a chance. Enhance with Lance. Lance Roofing and Siding in Fairborn has been satisfying customers since 1993 and hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Lance Roofing and Siding, 8460 Dayton Springfield Road in Fairborn. Call for a free estimate at 864-2722. That's 864-2722 or online at lanceroofing.com.
What QC Kinetics is doing for people here is nothing short of amazing. I'm talking real lasting relief from joint pain. Hey, it's Keith Byers. QC Kinetics is a nation leader in exciting new pain treatments with advanced regenerative medicine, non-surgical alternatives. If you're living with joint pain from injury or arthritis, don't let them tell you steroids and pain meds and surgery are your only options. QC Kinetics uses regenerative treatments that can restore and repair damaged tissue. Maybe you've been diagnosed with bone-on-bone arthritis and been told you need a replacement. Call QC Kinetics now for an alternative way to deal with the pain. These amazing protocols work with pain caused by injury as well, like a torn meniscus or a rotator cuff. Call QC Kinetics now. Don't keep living with that pain. Learn how regenerative medicine can give you your life back with no drugs and no surgery. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. 937-936-0325. That's QC Kinetics, 937-936-0325.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. When the prospect of divorce becomes a reality, you need a partner that you can count on. If you're a man in this situation, consider contacting Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men navigate complex legal matters for 30 years.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Dayton area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 2689 Commons Boulevard, Suite 100, Beaver Creek, Ohio, 45431. Online at CordellCordell.com.
Hi, this is Eddie Sorrell, Body Shop Manager at Germain Honda Beaver Creek. Our technicians have over 125 years of total experience. That means we can repair your vehicle correctly and efficiently. So when you need a dependable body shop, we're here. And we repair all makes and models with new state-of-the-art equipment to get you back on the road quickly. Plus, we offer loaner cars during service and free estimates. Stop by and see us. Germain Honda Beaver Creek, State Route 35, just east of 675 between Xenia and Beaver Creek.
Football and Fireball is a match made in heaven, and by heaven, of course, we mean Twin Peaks. Spice things up next game day with a shot of our favorite cinnamon whiskey. And NHL is back with a doubleheader to kick off the season stateside. Watch at Twin Peaks and break the ice with shareable bites for the whole team. Are you a fan of Twin Peaks? Sign up for our e-club to stay up to date on all things Twin Peaks and score free stuff. It's easy. Just visit twinpeaksrestaurant.com/peaks-club to get started today. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-917-1965. That's 1-800-917-1965. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-917-1965. That's 1-800-917-1965.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
The Kinner's Cash Contest is a company-wide contest for your chance to win $2,000 daily. No purchase necessary to enter or win. You will receive an email confirming entry. One winner will be chosen for each day. Contest is open to U.S. residents 18 years or older. Contest is sponsored by participating Alpha Media stations, audience or their parents, subsidiary and affiliated entities, advertising agencies, promotional partners, and members of families or households are not eligible to enter or win. Odds of winning depend on number of entries received. Contest is subject to all applicable federal, state, and local laws and regulations. Void where prohibited. Participants must sign all contest release and waiver forms to be eligible to win the prize. The contest begins on Monday, October 3rd and ends on Friday, October 21st, 2022. To participate in the contest, you must listen to the participating radio station at the specified times and enter the word that wins at wingam.com. Contest sponsors are not responsible for technical failures or malfunctions of any kind. For full contest rules, please visit wingam.com. Decisions of station management with respect to the contest are final.
With Discover, you can redeem your rewards for cash in any amount at any time. Learn more at discover.com/redeem rewards. Terms apply.
On Twitter, make sure to give us a follow. Search 1410 Kinner for Justin Kinner on Twitter. That's 1410 KINNER and ESPN Dayton for the station Twitter handle.
Guardians update, Kev.
Top of the 10th, tied at 2s. Hosey up the bat for the Gardos.
They've gotten out of quite a few jams, by the way. They've taken care of Aaron Judge today. Aaron Judge has not been a factor.
0 for 5.
That's how you do it. How's
3
Ramirez,
strikeouts.
though? What's Ramirez?
0 for 4, 1 strikeout.
See, that's the problem. Like, you're a team like the Guardians, you got to capitalize on, like, when you neutralize their best player, your best player has to step up. Now,
definitely.
Again, I don't know what the outcome of this game is going to be today, but I think that the longer the game goes on, the more that's in favor of the Guardians. But right now, you talked about it during the break, talking about the weak bullpen for the Yankees. Look, this is key. I think they go down 0-2 heading back to Cleveland. I think you split in Cleveland, but that's why it's important to split. They win today. I think that's why we did our, cap or no cap. When we come back on Monday to do the show, we'll be previewing the Yankees and the Guardians game 5. And right now, it's based on today's result, because I think if they go down 0-2, they're splitting in Cleveland and they're going to lose this series.
Yeah,
so they need to win this one today.
Gotta have it. This is a gotta have game. No matter what, gotta have it.
All right, it's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash here on 1410 ESPN Radio. Kev, real quick before we get back to the phones, as we sit here right now, again, 2 NFL upset picks right now. Your 2 picks in the NFL right now that you're calling. You're calling 2 NFL upsets this week, and what are they?
All right, I am going with the New York Jets over the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers offense is sputtering, and the chemistry between Aaron Rodgers and the young receivers is just not there. And the one thing the Jets do have is a lot of talent on defense. They get after the passer with Jermaine Johnson, the rookie, and Sauce Gardner has been a top-tier cornerback in the league. He's been playing better than a lot of veterans out there at the cornerback spot. And now, Zach Wilson is back. They've been moving the ball a lot better than they had been. So I'm going to go with the Jets over the Packers for one of my upset picks.
All right, one of my upset picks right now, you picked the Jets to upset the Packers. This is a weird one to pick because this is a 4-1 team, but I'm picking the Giants to beat the Ravens. The Ravens are a 5.5-point favorite, but they're at New York, so I think that they would probably be getting more favor in the spread there if they were the home team. But I'm going to roll with, I think that the Giants beat the Ravens. Look, Bengals defense, I know, is a really, really good defense, and the Ravens offense, they played well against the Ravens offense. Lamar, who I've talked about his throwing ability, he's not the worst throwing quarterback in the NFL. I definitely don't think he's the best, but the one thing that he is able to capitalize on is the deep ball. But uncharacteristic deep ball throws that he missed against the Bengals,
2 of them.
That I hope that if that's going to be a pattern of his, maybe this is my fandom of the team in the AFC North that's just hoping that they lose. But I'm actually picking. I think the Giants beat the Ravens here. I don't know how good the Giants are. But I think that the Ravens right now, they showed some vulnerability, and they're a 5.5-point favorite on the road at New York. If I'm New York, I feel disrespected. They're 4-1. They're winning. They're taking care of business. They're winning with what they have, and on paper, they have less than the Ravens. And the Ravens right now coming off that big win over Cincinnati, but that was just an ugly game that really either of those teams really didn't deserve the win, to be quite honest. But they came away with the win. That's all that matters. But I'm picking the Giants over the Ravens and Lamar here in Week 6.
Okay, my second one. Sorry, Bengals fans. But I got the Saints over the Bengals. The Bengals are a 2.5-point favorite, but they just don't look right. They look off. The passing game looks off. We talked about it in nauseum about the run game just not being there for Joe Mixon. I think that the Saints go ahead and get this victory over the Cincinnati Bengals. They travel to New Orleans, so I got the Saints getting the victory over the Bengals for my second upset pick of the week.
It's funny you bring that up. I picked and I did submitted my picks, my Pro Football Challenge picks at wingam.com. By the way, weekly winners get $25 in Frickers Fun Bucks, by the way. So make sure you take advantage of that. Even if you haven't submitted in weeks 1 through 5, you could still submit your picks for this weekend. Even if you missed last night's Thursday night game, get your picks submitted. Whoever gets the most picks correct wins $25 in Frickers Fun Bucks. Frickers Bucks, I'm sorry. I picked the Bengals to win this, but I could see another hole in this situation for them because we talked about earlier in the week the issues they've had offensively. Joe Burrow forcing the ball to Jamar Chase. The Bengals drive me nuts because they're a team that they kind of get away with a lot of stuff that we'd be bashing other teams for all week in the media. It's just been nothing but the homecoming for Jamar Chase, the homecoming for Joe Burrow. That stuff doesn't matter. That might have been a cute storyline when they were in the Super Bowl and they're feeling themselves in the offseason. But if Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are so worried about their homecoming as opposed to the fact that their team is 2-3 right now, I'm sure Joe Burrow's more worried about his homecoming return, what outfit he's going to wear in the pregame. He needs to be worried about taking care of business because right now they're not in a position for his personality to get away with it in the NFL. The NFL, you can act like him if you're winning. When you're not winning, you don't get to act that way.
Guardians take the lead.
Good for them. You don't obviously get to take, you don't get to sit there and make the headline be, we're coming back to New Orleans. What the hell does that mean? That means absolutely nothing. You're going to come home and lose because you're more worried about your fashion and more worried about your homecoming. I'm still picking the Bengals to win this because I think it's a must-win for them, of course, like we talked about earlier in the show. But at the same time, I could see them because it's that homecoming game for them. We thought he was trying to force it to Jamar before. Mm-hmm. Well, trying to force it to Jamar Chase to put on a show for the hometown fans. I don't understand that, but whatever is what it is. But yes, I would be concerned about that as well. The upset pick that I'm picking here too, which is again very weird. It's a 4-1 versus 5-0, but the Cowboys are a 6.5-point dog at Philadelphia. I think Cowboys get it done. I think that right now the Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles right now playing very, very good football. They haven't played the best of teams, though. This is the best defense they're going to face, and Jalen Hurts is going to be tested, but the whole Eagles team is going to be tested. But I think right now everyone's trying to really figure out the Cowboys and Eagles. Are they for real? Are they for real? I think we'll have an answer for that for who comes out on top there. But I think the Cowboys, with Cooper Rush this Sunday, I think they get the win over the Eagles, and then that's just going to fuel that fire of the quarterback controversy talk in Dallas.
That would be cool. For Philly, look, they're not going undefeated, so they're going to lose eventually. So that's not a bad pick at all. So yeah, I feel you. I mean, I can see it happening because the Dallas defense is just next level, and you got so many guys on the other side of the ball, and the guy that's not getting a lot of pub this year because he's not intercepting the ball left or right is Diggs. He's not getting a million interceptions, but that's a good thing. That means they're not throwing to him. That means he's breaking up passes. He's not feast or famine like he was last year. He would give up a touchdown and get an interception back. I would rather have a defensive back, a corner that isn't getting up a ton of plays and then getting interceptions. I want a dude that they're just so scared to throw at that they're not even worried about this side of the field, kind of eliminate that side of the field. I want my safeties out there making big plays and making a ton of interceptions a la Ed Reed or Troy Polamalu.
All right, college side of things quickly before we close out with a couple phone calls. My first upset, I'm a big DJ Uiagalelei fan. I'm pulling for Clemson because I know people hate Clemson and they create chaos. I think you're Florida State. I think Florida State pulls off the upset. Clemson is only a 3.5-point favorite, the number 4 team in the country on the road against an unranked Florida State team, and they're only a 3.5-point favorite. Vegas isn't buying into Clemson, so I'm calling for Florida State to pull off the upset to knock off number 4 Clemson.
You must have been looking at my notes because I have that one as well. So that means it's not going to happen for my beloved Noles. But you're right. The Clemson is a 3.5-point favorite over Florida State. Florida State. We talk about this in the first hour about the games that the Browns had in the bag. Well, last week, Florida State had that game versus NC State in the bag, and there was a miscommunication between the quarterback and wide receiver, which the interception was thrown, and they ultimately lost on basically the last play of the game. But I think that Florida State is able to get it done over Clemson because they're going to bring the house. One thing about DJ, he's a big guy, but he's not like super mobile. He's like a straight ahead guy. He's not like Lamar or these other nifty quarterbacks. He's like just downhill type of runner. So I think they're going to bring the blitz to them, and I think Florida State's able to get it done.
All right, my next upset pick, if you will, and this is a strange one, number 19, Kansas on the road at unranked Oklahoma. Oklahoma, an 8.5-point favorite. The reason I'm going for the upset here is because I am going to pick the ranked team to beat the unranked team, but the reason that this is an upset is because the fact that Kansas, and this is what stinks, they lost their starting quarterback for the rest of the season. I still think that Kansas, I think that the future is uncertain right now without their starting quarterback, but I think that right now Oklahoma has just looked they've just looked so garbage lately.
Lost.
I think Kansas, even with their backup quarterback, will play an inspired game to beat Oklahoma, remain a positive storyline. I think the wheels will fall off without their starting quarterback moving forward, but Oklahoma's bad. I pick Kansas to beat Oklahoma in a very weird upset pick, the ranked team over the unranked team.
So everybody knows about my Tennessee over Alabama pick. Everybody knows that Alabama's an 8.5-point favorite over Tennessee. That's obviously, I picked that back in July. So I'll give you a different one. I'm going with USC over Utah. Utah at home, 3.5-point favorite, night game out there in Utah, but I still got USC winning at Utah this weekend. It's going to be a good game because Utah, they want to get back into the mix. Even though they lost to UCLA, I still think they can, but I think USC is going to get that victory over them.
All right, it's the Justin Kinder Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio. Everyone is just waiting for this call. By the way, 3-2 Guardians, by the way.
Make that 4-2 Guardos.
4-2 Guardians. My goodness, that just brings it in. Look, this is huge for the Guardians because, like I said, I want to be talking about Game 5 on Monday. And if they lose this game today, we're not talking about Game 5 on Monday because there's no way they're going to win back-to-back in Cleveland. I believe that they have to win this today. I believe they split in Cleveland and then end up forcing that Game 5, that very exciting Game 5 coming up on Monday night. Pretty jacked about that. Cap, before we move on to the next part of the show, who's up? I know who's up. It's Shaw. Shaw, welcome. How are you?
The world is yours, Shaw.
How's it going, brother?
Chilling.
Sitting next to the hater.
Doing multiple things. Watching my Guardians, doing a radio show, talking to you, talking to Kenner, having a good time on a Friday.
Cap, will you do me a favor and tell him I hope he's having a bad day?
I'm having a great day, man.
I'm talking to you. I'm talking to Kev.
Hey, we can talk.
What you want to talk about, Shaw?
Well, I guess it's me and you against the world. Because I don't think.
I know. I agree.
One more time.
I don't believe Utah's losing to USC. I don't think. No, they're going. They're going blackout everything, blackout uniforms. Plus, old boy's not looked too good the last couple of weeks. Offense hasn't looked that great for USC. Now they're going on the road. The one thing that does have me a little worried about that one, but UCLA and USC play two different types of offenses, so I mean, I'm worried about it, but I'm not that worried about it. But UCLA kind of taking it to Utah, that kind of wakes me up a little bit. But I picked that one earlier a couple weeks ago, and I'm going to stick with it.
Yeah, they had them all off balance, man. It looked like Chip Kelly back at Oregon. That's how off balance Utah was. They couldn't figure out if it was pass, run, punt, kickoff. They couldn't figure anything out.
The pick six made it look closer than it was. And then, so who do you think's going to win tomorrow?
What? There's a lot of games.
Which game?
He knows what game I'm talking. You know what game I'm talking about.
Oh, you guys up north, y'all got it.
Yeah,
y'all got it. Y'all gonna win this one. It's gonna be tight though. Probably like
so?
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna say 31-24. Y'all.
How about 38-17 us?
Oh, you're gonna blow. Oh, you're gonna dominate them. Wow, you're gonna Indiana them, huh? Nice.
If we play the whole game against Penn State, how we played against Indiana in the second half, which is what I said on Monday.
Well, you realize it's easier to play like you did against Indiana because you're playing Indiana. You're not playing Indiana. You're playing Penn State. So you're actually playing a good team for the first time this season. So we'll see.
What's the line on that game?
Who's Penn State? Who's Penn? Us by 7.
What?
Who were favored by 7? For those who speak English and can listen, everybody else heard it.
What have I said that is not in English for you to say that?
Anyhow, moving on.
Hey, and I don't like liars, by the way. You said verbatim, I'm not going to call in as long as you have that stupid mic. And look who's calling in the very next day.
Oh, Jesus.
Don't be praying on the show after all the cuss words you've just been using. Don't talk to Jesus with that potty mouth of yours.
Oh, okay. If I said cuss words, you guys would have kicked me off here a long time ago. So don't go there.
Couldn't be any worse. Couldn't be any worse. I can't wait to watch Penn State win tomorrow, by the way.
Well, who have they played that makes you believe in Penn State? Who have they played?
Look, you can't sit here and argue that your team's good after the garbage schedule you
played. That's not what I'm talking about.
They went on the road at Auburn and beat an SEC
school.
school.
The Auburn team that almost lost to San
Mr.
Jose
Hawaii
State.
Aloha. I mean, what are you talking about?
I'm not talking about my team right now. I asked you
but with your schedule, you're not allowed to question the other team's schedule.
Yes, I can. I just did. That's how that works. I just asked.
Well, that's pretty silly. You can't. I mean, that's really silly with your schedule to be sitting there saying, "Who does Penn State play?"
No, what you're saying is I'm bragging about Michigan's schedule. I'm not bragging about.
No, but with Michigan's schedule, you're taking shots at Penn State's schedule.
Will.
I mean,
I will take shots at them. Who have they played?
Who have they played? They beat Auburn. I don't care if it's a bad Auburn team. They went on the road and they won at Auburn.
Congratulations. They beat one of the most overrated. They're the second worst team in the SEC. Wow. Congratulations.
So you're saying they beat an overrated team in Auburn and they're about to beat another overrated team tomorrow.
Big noon kickoff.
What have we done for you to hate us on us so much?
You're Michigan. You
finally admitted it. Thank you. You finally admitted it. You come on here and you talk about how you're a biased radio host, and you're not. I'm glad you finally admitted it. So everything you say about Michigan for the rest of the season is null and void, because everything that comes out of your mouth is Ohio State haterism.
The Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Listen, stream, watch. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, right here on Dayton's ESPN Radio, 1410 Wing AM.
Oktoberfest at Milano's has begun. We're serving our once-a-year favorites like schnitzel sandwiches and German pizza. Get it to go or stay for the games with NFL Sunday Ticket. See you at Milano's Pizza Subs and Taps for big screen football.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. Divorce can be complicated, especially if children are involved. If you're a father and want to protect your role in your children's lives, remember Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men with matters like these for 30 years, and we'd love to help you.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Dayton area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 2689 Commons Boulevard, Suite 100, Beaver Creek, Ohio, 45431. Online at CordellCordell.com.
Need a U.S. passport? We can help. Hi, this is Mike Foley, your Montgomery County Clerk of Courts. Visit one of our convenient auto title locations in Huber Heights, Clayton, downtown, Moraine, and Centerville. Make us your first destination before you travel abroad. No appointments ever needed. We do passports.com for more info.
This is Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Scott Tomorrow.
Early voting in Ohio's 2022 election starts on October 12th. And Ohio students are counting on us to make sure the best pro-public education candidates end up in office. Ohio voters really care about solutions like addressing teacher shortages, expanding mental health services, and keeping students safe in schools. Be sure to vote.
Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
Fall is here. That means Rob's Beer Barn has all of your favorite fall beers and other seasonal refreshments. Rob's Beer Barn has you covered for all your fall and Halloween gatherings. At Rob's, you can find all the ice-cold refreshments you'll need. Craft, imported, local, and seasonal beer.